Am I live? I'm live. I've changed position of my camera, so it's weird now. It used to be over there, but now it's here. So, good evening. Hello, everybody. Tonight, as you can see, it's the Flame Guys. I can't even see because I'm not even looking at them properly. But, yeah, the Inf. Damn it, Sinscape. Is it Infernus? I think it's Infernus Marines. I've called them Flame Guys because I can't remember if it is Infernus Marines. Good evening, Beaky. Good evening. How are you? And of course, Sinscape's been waiting for a day since I rescheduled it like the very last minute because, yeah, I had an appointment this morning I had to go to, so I had to reschedule. Because if I'd have stayed doing this last night, then there was no way I was getting up in the morning to be able to be at that appointment, and I had to be at that appointment. So I'll put it off for tonight. It should be relatively simple. It should be the same basic. Where's what? Oh, I know where they all are. They're not here. A lot of my army and all my tyrannies and everything else where I had the game on Friday. So, good evening, Sam. Good evening. Hello. Thank you for coming. Yeah. So most of my stuff's up somewhere where I can't get a hold of it. How to go right? It should be basically this colours. No, there we go. Right. Should just be essentially filling in the blue, silver, and stopping it looking as white, making it look more black. So it'll be. I do have more Templar contrast. So hopefully that's going to make it a lot easier to bring the armor back into where I need it to be. Gold's going to be a git though, because I want gold on his Aquila, and I'm going to be painting like the grill, the grill bit for the flamer. That bit is going to be gold as well. The rest of it's just going to be silver. So it's going to be that bit that stands out to show that it's going to be a flamer, whereas I think the melters are brass. The plasmas obviously have the blue thing on them, and all the bolters are done red. So yay, happy days. Lots of painting the same colour over and over and over again. I'm just thinking where I should start. I don't want to start with just going slap with contrast, because contrast is the one that takes the longest to actually dry out of all of them. So I want to leave that one for last, ideally. So I'm going to start with blue, then do silver because of the trim and the guns to do, and I also have Sinscape. Bring up. Good evening. Hello.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good morning. A bit of Warplot bronze instead. What's Warplot? I don't know what Warplot bronze is. I don't know what that is. I mean, I've got bronzes. I've got brasses. I've got copper. But I don't know what Warplot is. That a branding, or is that just a generic term for I've just got a basic metallic bronze, or even Sharpie bronze? Because that's the bronze that I've got. I use a Sharpie for bronze. It's so much easier to paint because you're not painting, you're just colouring in. Ba-ding! I might actually be. I hope that's not my message.
Can you hear that? Did you hear my phone go there?
What, your pating? Yeah, of course I heard your pating.
Oh, sorry.
It's a base paint. While plot bronzes. All right. Okay.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a good paint actually.
Right. No, I was reading right. Warp lock, not war plock. Right. Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Now you understand right. Now you understand my confusion. I misread it. I was putting the break in the wrong place.
Yet another sign of you going senile.
I'm not going senile. I just read the wrong words out of the wrong word. It's Citadel's fault. I'm blaming Citadel.
Of course. Considering you're literally the only person to make that mistake. It must be Citadel's fault.
Yep. Why not? Everyone else is blaming everybody else. Oh, yeah. My stupidity isn't my own fault. And that was stupid. I don't understand that. I don't understand how he even messed that up. Jeez. That's just daft. So how have you been? How have you...
I've been fine playing my new army lately.
See, because I have a question to pose to you.
Uh-huh.
The Overwatch stratagem states that irrespective of modifiers or abilities, you require 6s to hit.
Yeah.
Therefore, if you can't roll a hit roll, you can't get a 6.
What do you mean?
Flamers can't use the Overwatch stratagem.
Yes, they can use the Overwatch.
How? They can't get a 6.
They're automatic hits.
Irrespective of abilities like Torrent or anything like that.
No, it just
irrespective of abilities, you need 6s to hit to use that stratagem. Irrespective of abilities.
I need to read that. I want to read that rule exactly as it is written now. I'm going to get my book out and have a look. Oh, shit. I've just knocked my wire out of my phone.
Oh, well. You'll be all right. Just plug it back in, you'll be okay.
Yeah, I know, but if I don't do it now and I forget, my phone will die and I'll end up disappearing from the screen again.
Oh, I know. It's what I've had to do with this one.
So,
I've also got a crap load of tactical marines that need the other blue shoulder pad doing. Because they managed through the first phase when I started this channel of having a single blue shoulder pad, but didn't get redone in the second phase when I had to redo everybody else's other shoulder pad because I realised the transfers don't go over the black.
So first, I know this is kind of backwards. I found the torrent rule first. I wanted to check that one as well. So each time an attack is made with such a weapon, that attack automatically hits the target. And the Overwatch rule, where would Overwatch be? It would be in stratagems, wouldn't it?
It's a stratagem.
Yeah.
So the Overwatch takes precedence over the rule. Therefore, you will still have to roll, and you'll have to roll 6s, but you don't roll to hit with that one.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think the torrent rule would overrule the Overwatch rule because the torrent rule is because you can't when you rolls stack on top of each other.
Torrent is an ability. Torrent rule is a keyword ability. The
yes, and I think
states that irrespective of abilities.
I don't think it says irrespective of abilities.
Read it.
I think it says irrespective of abilities that modify your hit roll, and that does not modify your hit roll.
Of course it does.
It doesn't. That's not a modified hit roll, not as far as the rules are concerned. With GW, you have to go by the word of law exactly as it's written.
Which is why this one's such a pain in the ass.
Yeah. So, did you do...
Irrespective of modifiers and abilities.
No, it doesn't say anything about abilities. So until the end of the phase, each time modeling your unit makes a ranged attack, an unmodified hit roll of 6 is required to score a hit, irrespective of the attacking weapon's ballistic skill or modifiers. So torrent is not a modifier, and your ballistic skill isn't taken into account. So abilities, it doesn't make a difference. So yes, you can use torrent.
Damn it, I left my rulebook there.
If you are right, then that would have been awesome because there's so many flamer units out there with Overwatch.
Can I ask what edition of the rulebook you've got? Are you using the Leviathan edition?
Yes, this is the Leviathan one.
Just checking you're reading the same rulebook. Because GW, as much as they try to, on different editions of rulebooks, may have screwed up and printed different things.
I'm pretty sure the main core rulebook is the same as the Leviathan one. They were both made at the same time. So yes, you can use them. Oh, someone called War Thunder. I was going to call it War Thunder. We're both doing it today.
Yes, War Thunder. Good evening or good morning. We're all good. We are all good. Well, I think we're all good. I'm all right. I'm going slightly doolally, but that's been happening for years. Don't think you.
I'm jumping between a few different jobs today. Got some Tyranids out, and I've got some little D&D bunnies, like that model you did last week, but I think these are even smaller.
22 millimeters total was the height of that one I did last week. That's including the base it was stood on.
Yeah, the smallest one I've got here is 16 millimeters.
Yep, they are small little creatures.
Yeah.
They're in a box at the minute. I do have a rat man. That's the same scale, but he's a bit bigger. He's not going to be too difficult to do.
Yeah. I've been playing the
I
new.
don't like doing eyes anyway. I don't like doing eyes at all. I don't like, no.
What?
Sam's on about anything that doesn't, so long as anything that doesn't have to involve doing eyes on.
Oh, right. I like that. I like doing eyes.
Yeah. No,
Have a
I
look
don't.
at these. Have a look at these.
How the hell am I going to see them? Even if I put you on full screen with this, I'm not going to be able to see the eyes of the devil. Oh, right. Okay. Right. No. Well, you've got that up on screen. That's what I meant. Stuff like that. My partner's in the room with me, and she can see the screen, obviously. So
right.
I was telling her the other day about getting characters for D&D things, but I like little mice or little.
Yeah, and then I've got little bunny rabbit here.
Yeah,
mage,
rabbits and squirrels and
mage.
things.
Yeah, a paladin.
You see, I'm taking you off. I'm taking you off big. I'm not liking the looks I'm getting from behind me, so I'm taking you off big. When I get looks like when looks like that start happening, that's when I end up with WizKids models that are 2 centimeters in their entirety, from top to bottom, including the fact that they've got a hat on. They've got a hat on and a guitar and a knife and a necklace and armor and just why put that much into something that's bloody big? No worries, Kirsty. Not that you're gonna hear me say because I'm on silent.
Is it Kirsty this time? Do we know that?
Yeah,
it's the same image.
I'm 99%, 100%.
It's the same image.
Sure. Yeah. A red wall team or something.
I wanted to
what's red
share
wall?
my. Go on, sorry.
I'm wondering what red wall is off Sam.
What red wall you send?
Yeah, what's red wall? Sin making a red wall team or something.
Red wall? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm questioning it because I don't understand that one either.
Red wall?
I'm assuming it's to do with all the animals.
Maybe it's a D&D term or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't really follow D&D, so.
Oh, I don't follow the online-y stuff about it. I try to avoid online D&D as much as possible because of. Well, I don't online game anyway because of whinging little whining people. So knowing that sticking people in a world where you can do whatever you want and you can be whatever you want, and it's just like, nah, I'm staying well away from that. That's just gonna attract nutters. So yeah, I don't online D&D either. So I don't know if these terms are. Oh, right. It was a book series with animal characters. See, we're completely off the mark.
Oh, okay. Never heard of it.
No. I'm slightly curious, but...
Are you showing yourself your age there, Sam? I don't really know how old you are. So.
See, the thing is, I'm not knowing entirely where you're from, Sam. I think you're British.
Oh, I can confirm he's British. I know he's addressed. I've sent like hundreds of stuff to him. I know he's addressed. I'm not going to share that, obviously.
No, don't share. But he's right. So British. So yeah, in that case, I'm going to guess it's either a regional thing or an age thing. Yeah,
you're either too old or too young.
Yes, for us to get it. Oh, it could have been a regional thing. North South divide, we would have got slightly different. Things might have caught on differently.
barely in your 30s. You're not far away from where I used to live, to be honest. So it's not like it can't be too much of a region thing.
Yeah, but I'm also in my 40s, so I doubt it's an age thing because we're within 10 years of each other. So, nope, never heard of it. It may
No,
be
me
an age
neither.
thing, and it just brought in just after I got
Completely new
past
to me.
those points, but nope, never heard of it. It's like the closest thing I got to an animal like cartoon thing did you say cartoon? Oh no, book series. Right? No, I didn't read.
I imagine
many
it's still
books.
cartoon.
Yeah, but I like
Oh,
things like animals. Yes,
book. I thought
yeah.
I didn't read the message. I thought you said bug as in like insects and stuff
No,
like that.
book series about animals.
Series with animal Redwall.
Yeah, I don't
know.
recall.
The only
Nope.
book series with characters like this I can think of are like things like Watership Down and stuff like that.
Wind in the
Animals of Starling Wood.
Willows. Yeah, those are the only ones I'm aware of. So no.
And I only know them because they're like classics, you know.
Are they children's set of books? Good evening, Mick, and cheers for those live gigs the other night. Those were actually fun to watch. I'm glad I got to catch some of them.
What did he say? Did you ask if there's children's books of them?
Are the Redwall books children's books?
I imagine they would be, considering he said he grew up with them, read it a lot as a kid. Unless his parents weren't exactly very responsible.
Well, it depends, yeah. If the parents have just got the books because they've been given to me, like, yeah, these have got animals in, so his parents have just gone, well, there you go, the animals. It must be for kids.
I mean, back then,
and it turns out to be Animal Farm by George Orwell.
Back then, it would be easy to make that mistake with like things like Watership Down, because you know that looks like a kids thing at the beginning, but like considering like 47 of the characters die throughout the series, and it's heartbreaking. Yeah. You wouldn't give it to a kid these days.
We have an answer. So it is a children's book. It's like Lord of the Rings, but with animals. So we do have an answer.
Oh, okay. Like Lord of the Rings, but with animals.
Yeah. Sounds like a fairy's dream.
Sounds interesting.
I'm missing a flamer dude. Why am I missing a flamer dude? I don't know why I'm missing a flamer dude.
Did he burn himself?
No, because I took him somewhere today. So I've got to go get him out of the box. 1 second.
And this is typical of Laz.
Where's the box?
Very typical of Laz. Completely fucks up. He thinks he's ready and he's not ready. He's a fucking moron. Don't tell him I said that though.
Say again.
Actually, no, don't tell him. That'll be funny.
Tell me what?
What? No, I don't know. I don't know what you're on about.
You do realize I can go back. I can watch this back. You know that, don't you?
Go ahead. That means you've got to watch back and find it. Anfield's in the house.
Good evening, Lee. Good evening. How are you today?
Lee. That's it. I always forget your name. Sorry.
Yeah, Lee's probably been bouncing from stream to stream to stream with his missus going, will you come down from there? Your tea's been ready for an hour.
Yeah, I was wanting to talk to you about, I know you haven't got the new codex yet.
No.
But I was wanting to talk to you about the new Space Marine Codex today.
Oh, okay.
Because I know you're wanting to do like a Salamander's successor. And I wanted to share with you my experiences playing with the Firestorm Assault detachment. In my opinion, it's probably the best detachment in the Space Marine Codex at the moment.
Well, when I saw I do watch videos obviously about it, and there are a myriad of content creators out there who cover the Codex because they got sent it first, because they got sent NDAs and yada yada. One that I know is quite open about the fact that they're on an NDA, and you can tell by the way they do it, is Striking Scorpion 82. However, they dodge around it very nicely, I must say. They managed to express their opinion openly, but without breaking the contract, which is where I like them about that. So I've seen it. I can't remember the entire ruling. So if you've got a copy in front of you, you can read it out. That's awesome.
I can tell you exactly what it is because I've played several games and I've
It's a
taken
very
advantage of all of the stratagems, and they are excellent. Like, obviously, you know the detachment rule. Yeah, all weapons get assault and +1 strength within 12 inches.
yes,
That you know.
yes.
One of the enhancements you know about, it's +3 to the strength in melee of all of the character's weapons.
Plus
Not just
3.
by 3, yeah. So if you've got a power fist, it's suddenly strength 11.
Oh, you see, I could have done with stuff like that on Friday. I had 3 Khan effect Screamer Killers.
Oh god, yeah.
Blocked by a Land Raider.
Salamanders deal with that kind of thing with ease now, right? You've got strength 11 in combat now, and with the stratagems compared with them. So I'll go through the other 3 enhancements. One of them I don't use because it's only available on tactics models, and my Salamander's army is mostly Gravis and Terminators. So I don't get that stratagem. But the other 2 stratagems, if you feel, I give my Gravis captain +3 strength in melee, and he's got a power fist with 5 attacks and a relic blade with 2 attacks. So he basically has 5 attacks at strength 11 and 2 attacks at strength 8
Oh, that's
because
nice.
it's +3 to both attacks. But he can also give the squad he's with a stratagem for free each turn. Now, that's where I put them with aggressors. 6 aggressors with flame storms in a Land Raider Redeemer, right? Second turn, I'm right in front of my enemy. There's one stratagem that gives you all flame weapons devastating wounds. That costs 2 command points. But of course, with the Gravis captain, you get it for free. So that's 2 command points.
And you can use it again on another unit.
Yeah, you could. Well, you have to use it on the other unit first because the wording for the Gravis captain is you can
if
use
it's already been used.
If it's already been used on another one. So yeah. I have a unit of 10 Infernus Marines. Use it on them for 2 command points, and then use the same thing on the aggressors if you want. If you've got enough command points.
If you're going first, you're not able to actually pull that off properly till turn 3.
No, that's why I normally like to.
Oh no, sorry, turn 2 because it's for free, isn't it? So you can pull it off.
Yeah, you can pull it on turn 1. You can pull it off turn 1.
If you go second.
No, you can pull it off turn 1 if you're pulling it off for free. You don't need any command points. But obviously, well, unless of course you're doing it with the Infernus and the aggressors. But
yeah, so I mean, for the full effect to go, this unit you fire, that unit fire.
Yeah.
You need 2 command points to activate it, and then you can.
But I only use it to be able to get it for free because there's other stratagems that I use at exactly the same time with the aggressors. So if the aggressors are in a transport vehicle, because there's a lot of stratagems that are about transports as well. If a unit disembarked from a transport this turn, you can give them +1 to wound at any target that's within 6 inches.
So you drive it right down their throat.
Yeah, so you give them devastating wounds, +1 to wound, all for 1 command point.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
And if you put eradicators as well, they can have +1 to hit with a stratagem, as long as you target in a unit, the closest eligible unit. So +1 to hit with them with full rerolls if you're hitting monsters or vehicles. Another stratagem, if the opponent
that was just their ability you get to reroll to hits with the eradicators, providing you have a target in the closest unit.
Well, yeah. But the stratagem is you can get +1 to hit with a unit for 1 stratagem.
I thought what's Eradicator's rule basically? Is it re-rolling just against vehicles?
Yeah, the Eradicators get the full re-rolls. But I don't know why I said Eradicators in the first place, just because I used it on the Eradicators in my last game. Just to guarantee, like, hitting on 2s, you know? Hitting on 2s with re-rolls, wounding on... And then I gave them also the +1 to wound as well. So I was hitting on 2s, wounding on, like, 3s or 4s with full re-rolls and re-rolling damage. It pretty much wiped everything off that I wanted it to wipe out.
You see, this is where I don't like the current stage of 40k.
Why?
If you was to play, well, actually, any other army apart from Tyranids at the moment, you're at a distinct advantage. Immediately. before you even come to the table.
Why? They all the armies are currently at about 50% win rate.
You've got Codex, which just means that the Space Marine Codex will drop. And the Space Marine Codex will drop in its win rate as the other Codex.
So far, Space Marines and Tyranids have not had a Codex creep. Their win rate hasn't gone up. You've got to remember that even though these stratagems I'm reading out to you are really good, they're only good.
Usable in that battle formation. True. But
And
if you've got an index, you've only got one battle formation. If you've got a Codex, you've got a choice of 6.
Yeah, but that does. When it comes to the actual table, that doesn't give you more of an advantage. That just gives you a different set of rules.
Well, it does give you an advantage.
Not really.
You know you're facing infantry.
Not necessarily. No, you don't. Technically, you shouldn't even know what your opponent is bringing at all until you actually get to the table.
You shouldn't. You're right. You shouldn't.
So you have no advantage in that whatsoever.
But generally, you would if it's a friendly game. You'd know at least the army. Not necessarily what they're taking, but at least the army.
Yeah, I mean, to a degree. But then I played against orcs. I was expecting an orc army, but there was all squigoths and stuff like that. I used my Tau, but if someone fought me and they thought I was going to take a load of fire warriors, I got a load of battle suits. So knowing the other opponent's army does not tell you what they're going to take at all. It doesn't give you any indication.
But it's they're under. If you go all suits or all infantry or all tanks, they're under the same one set, so they can't go Vanguard set first set and get a set of rules specifically for taking them, or specifically for taking them, or specifically for taking them, or specifically for taking them. They have to, and are locked into a singular battle formation choice. They have no option.
Yeah,
and if that battle formation choice has no relevance, then
as far as I know, though. Like, I haven't seen all of the army's detachment rule that don't have a codex, but they're all not in a bad way, but they're all generic, so they're not focused on one specific playstyle. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, they are all generic, but then now in the Space Marine Code, you can go, yeah, but I just want to go all melters and flamers now. I want to specialize. So all of a sudden, vehicles, monsters, and infantry are being wiped out easily.
By that one army. But if I fuck up, if I play the wrong tactics or something, I'm screwed because I'm right up in front of you. It's the
true, but at least your formation works for your army. Formation works for the entire army. For other people, the formation might only work for part of their army, part of the time.
It's to a degree, but like I said, the formations for the non-codex armies are so generic to the point where all 6 stratagems are useful for most things anyway.
All 6 stratagems maybe, but the actual formation itself not necessarily that useful. Whereas
what have you got an example? Because, for example, like Tau's one is just from turn 3 onwards, I get sustained hits 1 or sustained hits 2 if I'm guided, which is really good. You can use any army, and that's perfectly good for that.
I'll use the old Tyranid one was probably the best one. Was once per game you can force everyone on the board to take a test so they can lose their OC and -1 to hit, I think it is, for a turn.
Which is quite strong in their game where it's all about objectives.
That's once per game. You can make them take a test that they can still pass, and that's it. That's all you get to do. That's it once. Whereas Grey Knights, at the end of any movement turn, if there's any unengaged models that can teleport, they can take them off the board and put them straight back into your strategic reserve for free. And at the end of your turn and the next movement phase, just teleport them straight back in. They have deep strike every turn.
Knights will have considerably less models than Tyranids, so their special rules have to be better, if you know what I mean. The smaller an army, the better each of their special rules
But
have to
here's
be.
the problem. If Grey Knights are playing Tyranids are taking out much board control. Grey Knights can't teleport down anywhere, so it's blocked.
Tyranids can't what?
Grey Knights, if there's that many Tyranids, I was playing this on Friday, and even by turn 3 or 4, the opponent couldn't teleport on my side of the board.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
behind my line, or behind him because of the sheer volume.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where it's balanced out. So the Grey Knights and Tyranids were countering each army's rules there. So it was fair. I honestly think that you have. I mean, I know why. I understand that you still kind of like want to be playing 7th, but I honestly think the 10th edition rules are a lot more balanced than you believe they are to be.
The better than 8th and the better than 9th so far. So that's I suppose that's a good thing.
Yeah.
They are better than 8th and they are better than 9th. I will have to play more games to get out more definite on whether or not I can go, right, okay, no, I like this edition or not. But at the moment, I'm finding it a little... Look, if you want to make it fair, then take all the crap away.
But then it's no fun. Then it's just boring. Every unit is exactly the same.
I don't mean all that. I mean, you take the unit
7.
card and you get the unit card. So what the unit card does, it does. The core rules are the same. Sustained hits, devastating wounds. That captain does that special rule. That librarian does that special rule. That unit does this. That unit does this. That unit does this. No CP. No stratagems. No army overall special rules. You build that in the way you build your army.
But that adds flavour. That makes it more interesting and more fun. Then all the armies are just the same with different abilities in each squad. I disagree with you on that one.
And how you apply them and how they're used.
Yeah, but that's what the army abilities are now. That's all about how you use them, because they can. None of the army rules and detachments are so broken that there's nothing to counter them. None of them are. Otherwise, there would still be.
Then in which case, it's a rule that's not needed. Why put the extra complication in?
Well, you could say that about any rule.
No, because there's some fundamental rules that you need. Roll to hit, roll to wound, roll to save, roll damage. Certain roles and rules make sense. Additional rules for special types of weapons. Torrents, ignores cover, devastating wounds, lethal hits, precision. It doesn't require line of sight. Various rules like that exist for a certain reason. We know this does because we've done it in Modern Warfare ourselves. We know what a mortar does. We don't have to see our target. We just need a general dunk and we can fire it. So we know we can shoot out line of sight. Not as accurate, -1 to hit. Done. Fine. That rule makes sense. But in the point where everyone can destroy planets anyway, we already know this. Why are you throwing extra rules at us to remember? Just give us the data cards, give us what the units do, give us the points for the units and let us play. It's still fun. It's still fun with less rules to remember, because then I don't have to remember your rules. Because I just have your data cards are there. I can just look easy enough.
It's only one rule, one detachment rule and one army rule, and like I said, none of them are.
One detachment rule, one army rule, 6 stratagems, 3 additional add-ons that you can add on to people. And that's per detachment if you want to take each detachment. So considering I don't know which battle force and you're going to take, I've got to remember all 36 stratagems.
You don't have to remember all 36.
If I want a chance of going, how do I counter it? I do.
So at the beginning of the game, you just ask what 6 stratagems they've got. They quickly tell you.
And by that point, I would need to have already worked out my plan to already know what that stratagem is, because you just said, I'm using, it's that one, and that. I'm using these ones. So I need to know what they are to know what my counter would be for those stratagems.
But
which is
then
a lot more.
that goes back to having to build your list against them, and you're not meant to know your opponent's army until
No,
like
for me,
5 minutes before you play.
I built my list so I could go. It could counter that one or 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 that one. Right. What's my setup for facing that? Because that's the one you bring it.
Yeah, I think you're thinking too much into it.
I think too much into everything.
No plan ever works in battle, ever. Well,
But if you don't go in with a plan, unless you're arse, then it very rarely works out. You need to have some structure and some idea on how you're going to make your army work.
I disagree. I've never gone into a game thinking that way, and I win about half of my games.
So you've never gone into your games with this is how I want my army to play.
Yes, I've gone into my games thinking that, but I've never gone into the games thinking if my opponent does this, I have to do this. I've never had to do that.
No, but you've never gone into a game going, right, if they've got mostly vehicles, then I'm going to have to play this way. If they've got mostly infantry, I'm pretty much all right. If you've got a reasonable spread, I'm going to have to split them up a bit, I think, maybe.
Not really. When I build my army list, I just I pick a theme and just go shit on that. So the salamanders just have loads of flamers, loads of melters, and thunderhammers where I can. So I can deal with vehicles, I can deal with infantry. I just build a balanced list like that with a couple of units that are quite strong, something I'm excited with, something that sounds cool. And I go into my game knowing, like, turn 1, I want very little on the board. I'll be deep striking, strategic reserves, and getting out of vehicles, turn 2, and a shock assault, turn 2. That's all I think about. It doesn't matter who I'm playing against. Like, I played Eldar last time. I had no idea about Eldar's army. I had no idea about the stratagems, even though I could have checked them. I didn't. I had absolutely no idea what the Eldar could pull off. And I didn't need to know. I still won that game. I still tabled him on turn 4. Because I knew what I wanted to do, and I just played the game and responded to what he did at the time. There was a couple of things that shocked me during the game, like I brought in my Infernus Marines on strategic reserves. The unit that I wanted to flame with them used a stratagem. Well, didn't even use a stratagem, just used their basic ability to move away as soon as I finished my move, which screwed over my move for them. But yeah, that screwed over that. But that's what happens in battle, in the real world, and in wargaming. You shouldn't know everything about your opponent's army list, because it's all about that subterfuge and like tricking your opponent, the shock assaults and stuff like that. He pulled off some tricks I wasn't expecting. I pulled off some tricks he wasn't expecting. That's the fun of it, I think. I think if you knew every single thing your opponent can do, if you knew your opponent's whole army and exactly how they would be able to play it because of the detachment rule they picked, it would be very boring because it would just be a game of number hammer.
Well,
that's what I think, anyway.
It's number hammer that favors. It is math hammer that favors numbers, that favors volume.
Yeah, but that's not how you should think about the game. I don't think you should be thinking about the game as just having fun, not trying to math it out and force a win by numbers. I don't think you should do that. I think you should just play the game and have fun. And yeah, sure, if the opponent pulls off some trick, you can go, oh, for fuck's sake. But then laugh about it. Cool. I'll pull off this trick afterwards. You know? I think you're overthinking it a bit too much.
I overthink everything a bit too much. You're not figured this out yet. Everything. This is just the time when I can focus on one thing. This is great. So I get to focus on Warhammer for a bit. It's awesome. I overthink everything too much. That's why I could end up in the situations where it's like, well, that contradicts that. No, can't. No, you shouldn't be able to do that because that contradicts that, and that's an ability, and that's how I end up in these little. That's why they are poorly written rules and unclarified because they're trying to make them broken. They're trying to copy the flair that Magic did, and you can't do that on a tabletop game by making a broken game that works. Yeah, you end up with a lot of people going, but it says there and it's interpreted various ways.
Yeah, but them kind of people are just no fun to play against. Unless you're in a tournament. If you're in a tournament, then yeah, I agree with what you're saying. You should try to learn everything that your opponent can do.
And they're pushing tournaments now. They're even doing official tournaments, I believe.
Sorry, say again?
I believe they're doing official tournaments as well now.
Yeah, they are. They are.
So
I'm actually thinking of taking my salamanders to a tournament, actually, because I'm quite surprised at how powerful they are.
You'll probably see more than one Space Marine or Salamander army there.
I've not heard anyone else. I've not heard anyone take that detachment to a tournament yet. I mean, I know the code has only been out for a couple of weeks, but there has been like some local tournaments in the nearby area, and no one's taken the Salamander Strike Force thing. Currently, I think the latest tournament that I heard about, Sisters of Battle won.
Yes, I believe so.
Which is a weird one.
Well, not really. They're just the human version of salamanders, melters and flamers.
Yeah, but they don't get access to all the cool stuff, which was your argument.
No, they get faith dice.
They do, but again, I've played against. I've played a couple of games against Sisters, and nothing there really shocked me, if you know what I mean. There's a couple of cool things that they could do.
But they had nothing that was
quite nasty, but
nothing overly worrisome. It was more of
nothing overly worrying, at least in the army list that he played against me anyway.
It's like, take that out, I win.
Yeah, nothing like that, whereas my salamanders are full of that shit.
No, that's what I mean. All you have to do is go, right, well, that's the threat. So I'm going to take that thing out. And then everything else is just going to get mopped up because it's not a threat anymore.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem with a lot of my Tyranid army I played on Friday. Because I only have 700 and something points worth of Tyranids. I don't have much. So I had to proxy a lot to get up to 2,000 points.
Yeah.
A bloody crap load, in fact. So
what was included in your list? Because I played a couple of lists against Tyranids with my salamanders now.
My list was 50 Homagants.
Okay.
20 Gene Stealers. 9 of the ranged little chunky things that can indirect fire.
Yeah.
3 Von Ryan's Leapers. 2 Ripper Swarm bases. A unit of 5 of the other shooty shoulder things that you got in the Leviathan box.
Yeah, Barb Gaunts.
Yeah, Barb Gaunts, Neuro Tyrant, Wing Prime, is it? Neuro
Is that the one in the high? Is that this one?
Yeah, that little one. Yeah. He was there to get shot before the can effects.
Bit of an expensive choice for a cannon fodder, but okay.
Well, if he would have got there, he might have done something. He just got shot to hell before he got there.
Yeah.
So, did I say 20 Gene Stealers? Yeah, 20 Gene Stealers, and basically, the Leviathan box set, some extra Harmagants, then 9 thingies, and 2 extra Screamer Killer can effects, essentially.
So nothing in there that I can think of that's kind of like super strong and on its own. You've just mostly got lots of hard stuff, which would be interesting against my list because mine's like in 2,000 points. I've got like only 10 units or something like that. It's ridiculous.
Well, I was playing Grey Knights. I was playing a Grey Knight army that I built that consisted of 20 Paladins, 2 5s and a 10. 15, 3 5-man squads of the fast-moving little tactical squad ones. And it's Miracle Dice, not Faith Dice. Sorry. No, I thought Miracle Dice were the... Oh, no, Faith Dice must be the Eldar ones. So, yeah.
No, the Eldar ones are not
Miracle.
even called Faith Dice either.
All right.
I can't remember what the Eldar ones were. I played against Eldar a couple of days ago. Forgotten already. Yeah.
So what was it? Yeah. A Nemesis Dread Knight. He had Drago, he had Valdus, and he had a Land Raider.
Mm,
And
fairly standard.
he parks his Land Raider. Everything deep strikes in apart from the Land Raider.
Yeah.
And he parks his Land Raider right in the middle, expecting it to get blown up by the Carnifexes that were just about to hit it. It took one of them out before they got there because he's got some hefty las cannons, and the other two just couldn't get through the bloody Land Raider. They just couldn't
Land
get through
Raiders
it.
can be tough.
That toughness 12 now has just pushed it to the point where it's like, I'm hitting at strength 10, but he's still 5 to wound.
I think I think it's because your Tyranid, that Tyranid list you're talking about, didn't really have any super anti-tank stuff.
No, it didn't.
In my game that I played against Eldar or something like that, he got it down to 3 wounds in turn 1.
Had I took the other synapse option and gone for the anti-monster and anti-vehicle as opposed to the anti-infantry, then I would have stood a chance because everything would have got devastating wounds against vehicles and monsters. Yeah. But I had the sustained hit one against the infantry instead because I thought it made more sense thematically for using the army that I had for them to volume of fire.
I think if you're going up against Grey Knights, you would sustained hits is probably not worth it. Sustained hits is only good in if the opponent's easier to wound. I think you'd rather have lethal hits against things like Grey Knights.
Yeah, you would rather have lethal hits, but I didn't have the option of lethal hits.
What was your option?
Sustained hits against infantry, devastating wounds against vehicles and monsters, or precision hits against characters. Pick one for your army.
I would have took devastating 100% against Grey Knights.
It's only against vehicles and monsters.
Is it? Right.
Okay. Yeah. So against all these infantry, it's just normal.
Right. Okay.
So it was a case of I know he's got both. Which one do I go for? So I would have
still went devastating wounds because vehicles are hard to kill in 10th.
Well, I wasn't expecting it to stand up that well to 3 Screamer Killer Carnifexes.
What's the AP on the Screamer Killer?
3. When it's in close combat, it's 3.
So he was on a 5+ save and his Land Raider survived?
I couldn't wound it. I was struggling
12. What's his strength?
10.
Strength 10, 5s to wound.
Yes.
How many attacks?
10 attacks, 3s to hit, 5s to wound.
And damage 2 or 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
You should be able to take it out. I think you must have had a bad dice roll.
Well, yeah, but I did have bad dice rolls. That's the point. That's why we were both shocked. But it's like, Land Raiders lasting a while. It's like, yeah,
fair enough.
But the thing is, it did its purpose of blocking me, but it did its job so well it ended up blocking him because he couldn't get past it to get to me.
What do you mean?
Because he couldn't teleport in behind me or around me because I was stuck where I was because of his Land Raider.
Oh, right. I thought you meant because the physical model was blocking his movement, but you can move through friendly models as if they're not there.
You can move through a tank as if it's not there.
Yes. You can move through friendly models as if they are not there.
Right.
But
when these Carnifexes stood in front of it.
Oh, you can't move through enemy models.
Exactly.
You can move through friendly.
In the center of this battlefield, there's terrain going out, giving like a if you were a small model.
Why didn't you just move the Land Raider out of the combat?
He was going to, but then he realized he could still stay in combat and shoot.
Yeah, so at -1, yeah.
So I'm just going to stand here and blast away with -1. So he did that instead. He just thought, no, see that one right in front of it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and if he fell back, it wouldn't have been allowed to shoot.
Yeah, exactly. So he just stayed there and shot the hell out of it. He thought, yeah, I'm just going to I've got 4 shots with the last cannon, 4s to hit. Let us do this. And yeah, eventually whittled them down. It popped eventually, and then the psychophage managed to start getting through, which is what I wanted to happen. I wanted the psychophage to get through to his infantry models, because that would, if I could charge, it would have torn them up in close combat.
Mm-hmm.
But he couldn't get his fat ass past the Land Raider.
So in my games, both of them were Crusade. So I'm actually organised a Crusade campaign at my local hobby store with 11 other people, so there's 12 of us. And the missions are very, very specific. And during the campaign, I get access to requisition points, which means I can use them for special things to happen. Usually for Space Marines, requisition points mean anything that's wounded can become a dreadnought, or you can heal
Sergeant
them,
or veteran them, or
and you can also promote units from like scout to
full battle brother.
battle line on battle line to first company and stuff like that. But one of the special rules, like I'll tell you how my first game went with the Salamanders. My first game, we had one of the missions was the defender has all 3 objectives on the edge of their deployment zone, and they start in defender's control. The attacker has to take them from the defender, and every turn, at the beginning of every player turn, the objective markers go up by 1 number, starting from 0. When they reach 6, the game ends. So the game can end at the end of turn 3. But if the attacker controls any of them, then the number goes down 1. So for so if the attacker can claim the objectives, it stops them from reaching the number 6.
Yeah.
So I had an Oathsworn campaign, which is basically a special set of rules for playing a very specific way. One is like a defensive play style, one is an attacking play style, and one is like a character building play style, and you get like rewards based on that if you succeed certain secondary missions whilst playing that. I picked Defender, and that gives me access to a requisition that forces me to be the defender in a game, which meant I forced the Tyranid player to have to come to me. And when all of my weapons are short range, and all I have to do is sit behind a terrain, wait for the Tyranids to come close, come out, and then pummel them all with my weapons. My turn 2 decimated almost his entire army with flamers and melters. And bear in mind, all I have in my army is a Land Raider Redeemer, 3 aggressors, 3 eradicators, a Gravis captain, and some Terminators, and Infernus Marines. That's it. And he had a Horde army. And I wiped his army out nearly in turn 2. And everything except for a Tyranid, like, Carnifex thing with a massive gun at the back of the board was dead. And I couldn't kill that thing for some stupid reason because he kept on succeeding his saves and all that. But yeah, I pretty much almost tabled him turn 2. And apart from that big thing at the back, tabled him on turn 3. And the game was over at the end of turn 3 for me, as all of my objectives reached 6. He didn't even stand a chance claiming one of the objectives. It was just everything that could have went wrong for him went wrong, and everything that could have went right for me went right. Rolling the mission, being able to force him as the attacker, forcing him to go first, which meant I could use rapid ingress for free on my Terminators and strategic reserves of my Infernus before my turn 2. You know, everything went perfect, and it was just a massacre. And then my second game against Eldar, it didn't matter who went first or second in that sense. In fact, he went first, which is not what I want for my Salamanders. But I still tabled him on turn 4. even though he had loads of jet bikes. It's surprising how fast salamanders are.
Well, everything's got assault, so yeah, everything's advancing.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't
Advancing.
realize that everything advanced. Turn 2, everything gets out and wiped out most of his army, and then all I had left was the jet bikes to kill.
See, with that attack and defender mission you talked about a minute ago, my first thoughts were he could have done with a lot of infiltrators. That way he could have had
that would have helped him as well. And if he put things into strategic reserves and coming in from the board edge, that would have helped him a lot as well.
Yeah,
but he
just to help him get the jump on you and block up a few of your units. So
yeah, because all he has to do is stop
Eradicators
are
great
the ejectors.
Great at shooting, but they're just Space Marines in close combat. It's slightly tougher, but they're just Space Marines. The punching, there's no special weapons.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely,
charging units like Eradicators first turn is an excellent idea. Because A, you might get rid of one or two, but B, it draws attention away from the advancing force, and it'll allow them to get a lot closer and a lot easier, which would put you on a different footing in a different place, it would have been a different battle completely. Remembering things like scouts as well. Remembering things like scout moves is always a good idea as well.
Scout moves are good. Yeah.
I forgot mine on Friday with the G Steelers.
Especially if you've got scout and infiltrate.
And then just hope you're not going second.
Yeah.
What have you done? I've run my G Steelers right up to your front line, ready to charge you. Excellent. Let's roll to see who's going first. Maybe. Oh shit.
If I had like a scout infiltrate army, I would be forcing the opponent to be going second every time. Within the Crusade, anyway. Because I can, but yeah.
See, that's greasy. That's greasy. You can force your opponent to, unless of course, what happens if they have the same thing, and you both?
It won't happen in the Crusade because everyone is in the alliances. So all the Space Marine, all the Imperium players are in one alliance. All the Tyranid players are together in one alliance, and then the other alliance is like. Currently, we have I say currently. This is how it's going to be. We've got a Demon army, a Death Guard army, an Eldar army, and I believe a Necron army.
What, in the other alliance?
Yeah, in the Raiders. These are just like the miscellaneous alliances that are just coming in to take advantage of the situation kind of thing.
Oh, there's games going on. Wow, we can play that thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
I had the unfortunate case of having to go into a GW shop today.
Crusade is fun, by the way. Playing Crusade. So I've played two games, and so far I've got Eradicators that hit on 2s. The Sergeant having 2 shots. So I've got a multi-melter with 2 shots and the Sergeant with 2 shots. On criticals, it's precision as well. And my aggressors now have the Sergeant has damage 2 flamer. So a D6 +1 flamer with AP 1 and damage 2.
So mastercrafted essentially.
Yeah, basically. Then I've got a Apothecary Biologus. When he gets one
that's
more,
that one, isn't it? The Gravis one.
That's the one that's the Gravis Apothecary that gives lethal hits. Yes, that's him. He's really good in Crusade because when he gets a level up, you can give him a relic. And that relic that I'm giving him, when he gets one more experience point, is going to be the ability to deep strike and pass that deep strike ability to a unit. Now think about him with a unit of 6 Eradicators.
What, with lethal hits?
With lethal hits, exactly. And my Sergeant has 2 shots and they're hitting on 2s. That's nasty. Deep striking them. The whole point of eradicators is you have to get them there. They'll die otherwise.
No, that's what transports are for. They can stick them in a repulsor or a Land Raider. I'm more thinking of Bulletstorm from Battlestorm Gauntlets. That'll work better.
Of course, you've got like you can use transports, but in my list, I can't afford a second transport because I've got the Land Raider. So I've got my Land Raider with 6 aggressors in that, and then my Eradicator's deep striking with lethal hits. My 2 Terminator squads deep striking with lethal hits as well. Well, not with lethal hits. They've got sustained hits now.
See, I'd swap the Eradicators and the aggressors around.
Why? If I deep strike the aggressors,
have you got flamers on the aggressors?
Yes.
Never mind then. If you had Bulletstorm Gauntlets, I would have swapped them around.
Why?
More dice, more chance of getting 6s.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course. Yeah. No,
if I'm rolling 3 dice per guy and there's 6 of them.
Yeah. No, I agree that. I agree there, but just, no.
Yeah, 18.
They're in the Land Raider Redeemer. So I've got like the D6 plus 1 flame shots each with them, and then I've got the D6 plus 3 flame storm cannon twice on the Redeemer. It's a shitload of flame. And I can give them all turret, and I can give them all devastating wounds.
I'm going about 35 models and 2 vehicles. I'm trying to catch up on chat. So I'm talking about his
I forget this.
sister. Yeah, I know. His Sisters of Battle. So he's 7.
Oh yeah, they're having a chat.
Celestine and Hegemonian and 1 Castigator. That's quite a lot. That's quite a lot of that. And Celestine's quite a nice model. It's better than 35 and 2 vehicles. Yeah. 35 models. 35 models. Where does that sound familiar? Oh yeah, that's how many intercessors I've got. Is it 35? Yeah. That's how many intercessors I've got.
I've got 20, but I'm not using them at the moment. 20 for the Sallies.
No, that's not including assault intercessors or heavy intercessors.
Yeah.
That's just intercessors with normal Balkans. I've got 20 assault intercessors as well. And 5 heavy intercessors. I've got 5 heavy intercessor proxies. The real heavy intercessors. But I know where they are now. I definitely know where they are now. The other day. In fact, I bumped into one of my a friend of mine who I've not seen for a while.
You've got a friend?
I've got a couple of friends. Oh,
just a couple. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I have a couple of friends. He's actually the Necron player who played on the channel. I bumped into him again and I spoke to him for a little bit. And hopefully I'll be getting a game against him. I can't remember what the point of me talking about him was in relevance to this conversation now. Oh yeah, he asked he was asking me, okay, what's the maximum point value we can play to them? And he keeps forgetting about me and my collection. So yeah. silly him asking what's the max value? 10,000. No proxies. He's turning and say, fuck off. It's like, I'm not playing at that. Like, what's the real one? Like 2,000 and you can proxy as long as it's within reason. Like, I can't play 10,000. You know what? I can't play 10,000 of a proxy army.
Imagine trying to do a 10,000 point game on TTS.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've tried to do a 10,000 point game in real life, never mind on TTS. It takes days.
No, I know. TTS would be even worse.
Yeah, it'll take days just to do a movement phase. Oh, for God's sakes, will you just go there and stop falling over? And... Yeah. I would not find it fun to do a 10,000 point battle. Not on my own, anyway. If it was like a 4-on-4, like 2,500 each, maybe that'll be a bit of a better setup. But no way could I do a 10,000 on my own. I mean, I could feel that I just wouldn't have the heart and will to play it.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, really? You do realize how many? Okay. We're gonna go for bolters next. No, not bolt rifles, bolters. Right. Ding, 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 ding. Now bolt rifles. Ding, 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 ding. Now combi bolters. Ding, 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 ding. You'd be like a cow shooting face.
Still need to play you with my Tau.
I don't like the Tau.
What? Why?
I just don't like the Tau. Blue skinned hooved little fuckers.
Well, perfect if you want a game with me then. You can try to destroy my blue-skinned fuckers, whatever you called them.
Awesome. Can I take your Templars list?
That'll be an interesting list, actually. Interesting game. No, it would. It would be an interesting game. Very
I know,
combat-focused army.
Why do you think I said it? I saw what they are. I was like, oh, so that's not a bad little 4-stars.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
And with the suppression from the land speeder, and you've got a little bit of range support, and like, all right, okay.
Go for it if you want to do that. I don't mind.
No, because we're playing you on TTS, I'll essentially want to have a look at the codex properly, and I'll build a force to take it on. Whether or not that be Tyranid or Space Marine, I'm not sure, because I do like a lot of the Tyranid stuff.
Well, I'm not telling you entirely. I'm not giving you my talent list for you to make a list from.
It could be Fire Warriors, it could be Crisis Suits, it could be Hammerheads, it could be a myriad of things. I'm aware
Could
that
be anything. To put it this way, I've got enough Tau models to make 3,000 points, so I have a choice.
Right. So yeah, I'm essentially looking at facing my friend who's also got Tau as well as Necrons. He's got Riptides, he's got Storm Surge, he's got Crisis Suits, he's got Stealth Suits, he's got Crew, he's got Fire Warriors, he's got Breaches,
Yeah,
he's
I've
got
got all of them.
Hammerheads, and it's like, which ones is he gonna take?
I've got pretty much everything, but there's a nice combination of stuff that I've got that is really nasty.
I know battle suits are horrible. Battle suits have been horrible in every edition. That's one unit that's been stayed effective since 5th. You load them up with 4 guns and you just launch them in there, and it's like, Jesus Christ! No, sorry, 3 guns and a shield drone. And it's like,
not just a shield drone, but 2 shield drones, so they have like 6 wounds each.
No, sorry, 3 guns and a shield generator.
Yeah, shield generator for 4+ invuln.
Yeah, as well as shield drones, which are going to get bumped off burst anyway.
Well, the shield drones just add +1 wound to the model now.
Yeah, so you just
get +2 wounds to each model. But you don't have to remove the shield drones when you lose a wound. But I do tend to just do that for the representation of it.
Yeah. Just to go, he's lost his first 2 wounds. Right, okay.
Yeah.
He's lost his first 2 wounds. He's lost his first 2. Or it gives you an indication of who's actually if someone's actually taken a wound, because obviously any subsequent wounds have to go on them too.
Yeah. But yeah, you are right. The Tau Crisis Suits at the moment are nasty. You have them with a Cold Star Commander. It gives all of their weapons assault, and they can move 12 inches. Their Crisis Suits basic roll, they can advance, but instead of rolling, they just automatically move 6 inches. So with the combination of that and having all assault weapons, they basically have an 18-inch move, still being able to shoot everything. And then you got the cyclic ion blasters are currently the meta weapon. 3 shots, strength 8, 2 damage each. You can have up to 4 of them on each one if you sacrifice the shield generator. If you did that with 4 cyclic ion blasters on each of them with 6 suits, the math hammer is 72 damage on average.
I've got an order for Sam. I've got a response to Sam for the order of his.
I know someone who used to have a sisters army, and they called them the PMS sisters.
Well, funnily enough, I was going to call them the order of the used tampon. Might be a bit much, but they'll be memorable when they played. So yeah, if I was going to, it'll be the order of the used tampon.
The order of the used tampon, and then their friends can be the PMS.
Order of blonde Karen.
Order of the what?
The blonde Karen.
Blonde Karen, yeah. Is Celestine blonde?
I think they're all blonde.
I don't know if they're all blonde. I think that's just.
I mean like platinum blonde. I mean like
isn't that just
white
artistic?
blonde.
I don't know. I don't know if they're all blonde, but
I think it's part of the fact of becoming a sister, isn't it? They all have to have that stupid frigging haircut and hair colour.
I have no idea. I've not heard of that. Oh, there you go. Celestine has black hair.
Oh, Celestine has black hair. All right, okay. So you can't be the Order of the Blonde Karens. You can be the Order of the
Black Karen.
That's a different thing entirely. That's why it should be the Order of the Bloody Tampon. Because you can't deny that one, because it is an all-female army. And to be quite honest, they are angry. So I'm guessing it's gonna be. So yeah, that might fit. Because Lord knows I would not want to go into battle against an angry army full of women launching those things at me. And I once remember someone actually painted up their orcs so that their shooters look like lipsticks. I was just like, "You're not seriously doing this?" He's like, "Yeah," and she was like, "Yeah, I'm doing this." I'm like, "You're not doing this."
Oh, I saw someone on Facebook earlier. They had an orc. I think it was Orc Commandos. I think it was. I think that's what it was meant to be. It was definitely not obvious, because you'll find out in why. And it was just a load of oil drum barrels with arms sticking out of them, and on the barrels it was said, "These are not orcs, Space Marine stuff," and all that. And it was quite so they were in disguise as oil drums with the arms sticking out, with clearly shooters and choppers in their hands.
Oh, yeah, it's quite a good nod to the cardboard box. That is quite
I don't know what
nod.
you want. I don't know what you're referring to.
Metal Gear Solid, the cardboard box.
Oh, the card. Right, okay. I didn't realize you were talking on Metal Gear Solid.
It's like, what's this cardboard box doing here? It's just in the middle of the floor. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, if I'll put an image up, I can't get access to it at the minute because Discord's on my phone only. I've not got it on the PC, so I can't look at it yet. But yeah, if you put a picture up,
we can check it later.
Yeah, I'll have it later. And if Order of the Bloody Tampon doesn't work, I'll try and think of something else. Please say put black. Are they in black armor?
Aren't they usually red?
Not always.
No, I know, not always, because they have
Ebon Chalice.
orders,
Ebon Chalice are black.
I should know the answer what colour his ones are, because he's posted them in there.
Bloody Rose are red.
I'm very forgetful.
Yeah. I'm gonna claim that as well. Nothing to do with him being an idiot, honest. So, right, I can't remember if you've told me already. You probably already have, because going back to the point that we've both got crap memories. Did you tell me where you got those animal D&D figures from?
Yeah, one of the clients, the client that I'm doing this for, is a 3D artist, digital 3D artist.
Okay.
And I believe she or he, maybe, I don't really know, they're from Germany. 3D printed them, designed them and 3D printed them.
Oh, awesome. I know what he painted. I'm guessing he's going to put them onto.
I believe I'm painting them for their Etsy shop, so they can have pictures of them.
Yeah, so it's a painted picture as opposed to just the flat resin or grey plastic, whatever they are. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
If you're going to get something put up there, get it put up there. It's the best quality you can. And if you can't paint them, pay someone else to do it for you.
Yeah, and I believe that once I've done these, I'll probably get more stuff from them.
Yeah, so anything else, well, providing they get a good response, which I'm assuming they will.
I believe so. They seem to be happy with Happy with them so far. I've
Um,
finished the mice. I've finished one of the cats. I've finished this centaur thing, which looks like this. This is an interesting one. Biggest model that they've sent me.
oh, well, it's more. It is. It is kind of. Although it is centaur, it's kind of fawn centaur, goat bottom,
Yeah, I
human
don't really
top.
know.
It's weird. It. I would say it was more. It was actually a fawn, but it's got 4
Yeah,
legs.
I would agree.
And
It's an interesting model, though.
now we're getting into the minor semantics of mythological made up creatures. So that's just getting sad. Well, it's a goat bottom technically, so isn't it a fawn? But it has 4 legs, so it would be a centaur race. I see your point. Is it an archer? No, it is carrying a staff. It's a mage, so it could be still from either.
I ain't got a fucking clue. I'm just painting it.
God, I'm such a geek then. Yeah, centaurs notorious for being archers as well as assault troops. High impact assault troops. Very, very good at it. Not surprising. The horses that can wield great swords at the same time. Why wouldn't it be a great assault troop? But also a very, very good mobile archery unit.
Mm-hmm.
Put Brute out of place so I don't get mixed up with Bloody Rose, the red ones. Martyr the Lady. Is it Martyr the Lady that are black? So what are the Evan Chandlers? Are they not black as well?
What?
Sam, read the bloody chat.
Oh.
Bloody Rose are the red ones. Martyr the Lady are the black.
I have to make an effort to look at the screen.
I have to make an effort to do everything, so.
It's your channel.
This is my therapy.
Just get Captain in, then he can do it for you.
No, I don't badger Captain into doing it. I asked him to do it as a friend if he has time, and he does if he has time. Problem is, I can only have one person.
Actually, that's a point. Very quiet today. We've got Sam. I think Buzzard was there earlier, and you got Kirsty.
Yes,
but no EB, no Daniel, no.
I sent them links. They may be busy. They may not be. They may think I can't be asked. It's up to them. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're
Or
not
they
here for me.
Heard us arguing about Space Marines and shit, and thought,
yeah, for God's sake, they're at it again. Jesus. And then decided to bugger off and go do something more interesting and productive with their lives.
Yeah. I wouldn't blame them.
I do believe we would have had a silent member though. There was a good chance we would have had Heydrich in, but she wouldn't have said anything. She would have just put the phone on, put it on next to her, and then lay down.
Right.
Because apparently I bore her to sleep. So.
So why did she bother?
Not her words. Apparently, when she listens to me, she finds it easy to fall to sleep.
Oh, right. She does it on purpose so she can get to sleep.
Yeah. My interpretation of that. My interpretation of that.
If I wasn't painting, I'd probably be fast asleep listening to you blab on as well.
Yeah. So exactly, my interpretation of that is I bore her to sleep, which is fine. Look, if painting and going through the blue bit and you watching me do this and slowly get better and better, hopefully, as I go on, is not what you're here to watch. And you're here to talk and you're here to listen to the waffling on. That was fine. If you're here for ASMR for some strange and God knows reason to me, then that's also fine. Look, whatever you get from my content, if you get something from it, great.
Part of the reason why I started joining your stream was just to give the people some interesting things to listen to, instead of listening to your voice and dying of boredom.
Well, the thing is, I can't talk complete. I can't just waffle on. That's one skill I do have to.
I know.
Most of the time, I can just talk about pretty much anything. The easiest way to do it is to talk about what you're doing, which in a painting stream is quite handy because I'm actually telling the people what paints I'm using and where I'm putting them.
Yeah, I would
So-
find it too difficult. That's why I've not bothered doing my own live stream. I don't think I'd be able to do it.
What you're probably better off doing is filming you painting it, but not talking, just in silence, or listening to something just that the camera's filming you with no sound, and then edit it and go back in and talk and do the talking afterwards.
Yeah.
And don't
Then
do
I would
live
have to-
streams.
Then I would have to listen to me talking to edit the voiceover, and I can't do that.
Yep, I don't like listening to myself. That's why I don't edit. That's why none of these get edited and changed.
Yeah.
Put anything.
If I could afford someone to do the
Ah.
editing for me, I absolutely would, and I would have my own YouTube channel as well.
I don't know. It was black and white. Why are they called the Ebon Chalice then?
Yeah, like ebony is like off-white.
No, ebony's like black. Ebony's black. Ebony and ivory.
Oh, ivory. I'm thinking ivory then. Yeah.
The ebony's black, so the Ebon Chalice would be black. The Ebon Ivory Chalice would be black and white. So the martyred lady are black, but the Ebon Chalice. I don't. Then again, baseball's a grey blue, so who knows? Who knows?
Not a fucking clue. Who knows?
I'm running out of silver. I've nearly done with the silver, so that'll mean gold, red, then contrast, I think. Then
Oh
that
yeah,
should-
you know something quite ironic. I'm a painter profession, right? That's my job, is to paint people's armies, right?
Right.
This week marked the first time ever since I started this hobby 23 years ago that I have a fully painted army. That is my salamanders. My 1,000 point army is fully painted and based and everything. The first time in 23 years, a fully painted army of my own.
I'm still yet to have one of those.
Well, I'm doing it 1,000 points at a time. Finished my first 1,000. Next, I'm going to do the next 500 points, actually, because phase 2 of the campaign that I'm running, the Crusade campaign, is 1,500 points. So there's 8 games in phase 1, 8 games in phase 2, 8 games in phase 3. Because everyone has 8 opponents.
Yeah.
So I'm wanting to get each phase fully painted. And I actually have it in 23 years as a professional painter, although I've only been a professional painter for like 6 months, but still.
Yeah, but you've been practicing and obviously refining your craft before you became a professional painter to get to that point.
I think I nearly had a fully painted Black Templars army like 15 years ago. But I don't think it was fully painted. I don't think I even based them.
Right. They weren't based because basing weren't a thing. The closest you got to basing when I started playing was you paint your base green.
No.
You'd base your model there. That was
No, when I was
playing.
doing it, people based it with PVA glue and sand and then painted them.
Right, no, painting green was when I started playing. So, technically,
Which always looks terrible, I think.
it does. It did then. It does look now.
Especially in sci-fi, you should at least do them brown or something, or grey.
Well, I left mine black because they were fighting on the moon or something.
Yeah.
So I left mine black. So technically, my first ever Blood Angels army were painted.
I do remember, though, back when I was doing my Black Templars, that they did release a textured paint, but it wasn't very good.
Well, the Astro Granite.
No, I'm talking like 15 years ago.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, I don't remember that.
I don't even think it was Citadel.
Oh, right, okay, in which case I definitely won't remember that. I wasn't aware of anything but Citadel about 15 years. 15, wait a minute. I've got to remember 15 years ago isn't what I think 15 years ago is.
Well, Vallejo existed back then.
Yeah,
And then, of
but
course, you had Umbral.
I was about to explain that what I think is 15 years ago is actually more like 25. So
Right, okay.
I've got to remember that 15 years ago isn't quite what I remember 15 years ago being. So I've got to remember that it's actually a lot more recent. And yeah, no, yeah, I was using Vallejo and all sorts of other paints by then, 15 years ago. Wow,
Yeah,
really?
Vallejo.
Has it been that long? Oh, I'm old. I'm getting old. Definitely.
Oh, I've got a competition that you might be interested in on the site.
Oh, what is it going? I mean, you really have to sell me on these competitions because I don't.
Well, on this one, there's no physical prize. On this one, it's a daily rollover.
Oh, it's just a credit one.
Yeah, you get the 50% of the sales in credit, and it rolls over if no one wins it. So if you win it, it's currently at £11.75. If you win it, you can spend that money on whatever you want.
Yeah, but in fairness, we're talking GW products. You ain't getting shit.
Say again?
If we're talking GW products, you ain't getting shit.
It's not just GW. I've got the army paint speed paints up as a comp at the moment.
Well, that one's.
Yeah, I've got them. I've got like a big box of them, which is worth like 70 quid.
Oh, you got the big mega box.
Yeah, well, not the big mega box. That's like 120. I've got the speed paints most wanted one.
Actually, off your recommendation, I picked up something else today.
And then I've also got like an army transport bag that I actually use myself, which I would highly recommend. Contrast medium. Oh yeah.
Right. If this screws up, I'm blaming you because I bought it on your recommendation.
Right, what are you doing with it though first?
Using it to make paints like this contrast.
I never said that you do it with that. The contrast medium is not used for that. The contrast medium is used in conjunction with contrast paints.
I thought it was the whole point. It is the medium that gives the contrast thing.
No.
So
I never told you. I never gave you that.
If I was to mix a small amount of that in with a reasonably large amount of that, I wouldn't get a contrast red.
I don't know. I have no idea. I would never have given you that recommendation because I've never done that. I've never heard of doing that. The contrast medium is used to thin the contrast a little bit so you get more prominent highlights and deeper shades without reducing the
so it's like special water for the contrast paint.
Yes. That's why it's called contrast medium, because it's a medium used for the contrast.
Right. Seeing as you didn't do it, and to me that sounds like a waste of a perfectly good experiment. Well, I'm going to find out.
Try it, because I've never tried doing that. Try it on a spare model though.
I'm pretty but I'll try it on the paint first and find out if it works with the paint.
I have no idea if it'll work or not. It'd probably work better if you use Lamium medium, but I don't know.
No, because that's the airflow one.
No, it's not. Aircast thinner is the airflow one.
Lamium is that the? Oh no, is that the dry retardant?
I've got them all here. You got Lamium medium here, contrast medium, and aircast thinner.
Yeah, I thought Lamium medium was
all similar, but they're different. Like contrast medium and Lamium medium are very similar, but they have slightly different purposes. The aircast thinner is the one to reduce the layer paints into something that can be put through a airbrush. So that's just for airbrush, the aircast thinner. And then the Lamium medium is for blending, mostly. And the contrast medium is for thinning down your contrasts without reducing their without washing out the color. So it thins them, but it doesn't reduce the effectiveness of the color. It just like makes the highlight and shade more prominent. So you could use like a contrast medium,
Right, yeah,
mix 50-50 with Black Templar contrast. And the Black Templar contrast would have a much lighter highlight on the edges of the model than it normally does. But the black would still be black instead of like washed out and grey.
That says it there. Yes, you can make your own contrast paint with contrast medium. Citadel sells their own contrast medium in pots, and you can combine it with other acrylics to make your own formulations. This is helpful if you want a very specific color contrast paint.
Right.
So yeah,
okay. Try it then.
So yeah,
I've never heard of that. Never done that before.
No, I was pretty sure that's what they said when they brought it out.
All right, okay. Well, I use it for something completely different then.
But yeah, it was there so you can turn your base and layer paints and stuff into contrast paints.
Well, what is it you wanting to turn into a contrast paint? Which color? Mephiston red? Did you say?
I was just using that as an example because it was the one that was right.
All right, okay. Because I've got most of the contrast paints here.
Yep.
And I've never felt that I'm lacking one.
For instance, I don't have contrast paints for those two. If I wanted to make that a contrast paint.
Yeah.
If I come to a paint that I'm like, I would rather this have the contrast.
Well, that
ability,
orange. What was the orange Fire Dragon Bright?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think there is a contrast that gives that quite a bright orange. The closest there is probably Eandon yellow, but that's still more of a yellow than an orange. So maybe that'll work. Maybe that'll come out quite nice.
Put it into like flesh tones. It's like I don't like that flesh tone. I'd rather have that flesh tone, but I want it contrasty. You can throw it through that.
Yeah.
Whether it be
you mean Rackard flesh shade, you don't like that?
Say again.
You don't. You got Gilliman flesh. You don't like that? Is that you want Rackard flesh as a contrast?
Yeah, so it's a little more subtle than as not as red. So I've got the options to chop and change them amongst each other.
I might have to try that then. Now that it seems as though I've got a contrast medium, I might have to try mixing up my own, see how it works. Because I never even considered you doing it that way.
And you call yourself a professional.
Well, I have my own technique. I don't call myself a professional painter. Other people call me a professional painter.
No, you do. Sinscape Studios is a business.
Yeah, Sinscape Studios. I paint, but I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm professional. I would say there's plenty of people out there that are more professional painter than I am.
Whether or not you are the highest quality professional painter is a debate for a different day, but you are a professional painter.
Yeah, I suppose. I see this as more of me just making money out of my hobby than doing it as a job, really.
No, that's just called having a good job.
I suppose, yeah.
If you've got a job that you enjoy doing, you like it, especially if it's your hobby that you do all the time, and you get to do it, then yeah.
I do have a second job now, by the way. Because I got bored of just sitting at home painting. Actually, I say I got bored of sitting at home painting all day. I still sit at home doing my other job, but it's just something different that I can make a few extra pound a day. It
also means that you're giving your wrists hopefully a bit of a rest.
Oh yeah, my wrists are actually better now. I mean, last week it was really, really bad, and then suddenly now, last couple of days, there's been no problems. But yeah, I have a second job now, which is just something to make a little bit of money do in the middle of the week, where my comp site doesn't make me any money. I literally just do online mystery shopping. I can make like between £10 and £50 per mystery shop, and they take like 10-15 minutes to do.
What on earth is a mystery shop?
A mystery shopper is where you.
You are a mystery. You're the mystery shopper.
Yes. So I'm
well aware of what that is because I used to love when I got there. Because if I notice you, and I say you're a mystery shopper, you're not allowed to say no, and your mystery shop becomes null and void.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, but
And
I'm
I
doing
used
it
to love
I'm doing it
that.
online.
Oh, that's even better but yeah, I used to get them when I used to work in stores. We used to get them in stores, and they'd always follow the same basic pattern.
Yes,
So
but you're as a staff member, you're not really supposed to like try to catch out a mystery shopper. You're supposed to just show that you're good at doing your job. So if
I
you know
know,
it's a
but
mystery shopper, you should just do what you're supposed to do. Or the mystery shopper is just going to go back and say, "Well, this person was just trying to be a clever dick and decided, oh, you're a mystery shopper. You have to do
no.
this, you have to do that."
Well, we did have kids who would do that when he was in there, but those of us who were a little bit older were wiser.
Yeah,
I end up a case of, that's a mystery shopper. I'm making sure I serve this mystery shopper. Why? Because I'm ticking all the fucking boxes. Ring through to the back counter. Tell them. Warn them. They're going to come up and they're going to try and sell something. They're going to try and do blah, 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 blah. They know what to do. Make sure they tick the boxes. And we always got glowing reports. Always got glowing reports because we knew who they were. So he's like, you get the full treatment. You get the full everything. I may not have the time for it because the head offices don't take that into consideration and crap like that. It's like, yeah, there were 60 people in the shop that day, but that one person came out and spent all his time for 20 minutes with that one person because you decided you wanted to report to see how well he was doing that day. It's like we were rushed off our fucking feet. I couldn't even serve one person, but still sent them in, and I still had to do it. So yeah,
that's one thing that I disagree with the whole mystery shopping thing. You shouldn't treat the mystery shopper any differently just because they're a mystery shopper. They should
you
be
have
there in stealth and
you
well,
have to
no,
because
no.
the
What you have to do is make sure every single customer gets exactly the same quality of service, so that when mystery shopper comes in, they get treated the same as every other customer. Otherwise, what's the point in doing the mystery shopping if the mystery shopper is known every time? It's pointless. It makes the whole job irrelevant.
it
It's like
does.
it's when you know
But
that the manager of if you work for Asda or Tesco or whatever, and you know the regional manager's coming, and everyone suddenly cleans up everything and acts perfectly. It's not a representative of what the shop is. In fact, that actually makes it look worse because what does it look like when they don't know the mystery shopper or the manager is coming?
well, you never know when a mystery shopper's coming or in when they arrive.
No, exactly. But if you knew who they are when they walk in through the door, it ruins the whole point. So, in my opinion, even if you know they're a mystery shopper, you should just keep acting the same as you would normally.
But this is just my personal experience of in a
All right,
recently
okay.
small shop. Okay, so there's only what four of us on the shop floor.
Yeah.
The customers outnumber us at least 6-1.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, we can't give everybody individual service at that point. Now, even if that's shown on camera, we get marked down for it.
Yep.
Because we're not giving individual service to everyone. It's a physical impossibility. So one of us will bite the bullet, go deal with the mystery shopper to get them out of the way, get them cleared through, get them out of the shop so we can deal with all the real customers and put some fucking money in the till.
That then is a problem with the management of your place not having enough staff to meet demand.
Oh, have you worked anywhere?
Yeah, I've worked in plenty of places, and it's almost always the case.
There's never enough people to do the jobs that they actually want you to do. Never enough. Actually, there is, just that they stick half of them in management roles where they don't have to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah, if you actually came down and helped me unload this wagon, there wouldn't be two people stood out on the shop floor. Well, why are you unloading the wagon? Because he's busy doing
being a
that.
boss. You don't have to do that kind of job. That's what
Well, I've had plenty of managers at a pipeline refused to not do that type of job. Because they've had the mindset of, if I'm going to ask you to do it, I've got to be prepared to do it. I will not ask you to do something I'm not prepared to do myself. And those are usually the managers that get the better workload. You'll get people who work harder for those type of managers and those type of people. than the ones that sit in the office and just spout out the orders.
Yeah, I agree with you there. When I was head chef, I would be insistent that I wouldn't ask anyone to do something that I wouldn't do.
You can't. And because if you're asking them to do something you can't do, that means you can't correct their mistake if they do it wrong, because you don't know what you're doing.
To a degree, for the most part, yeah. Unless it's something obvious, like I can't pick up a heavy thing because I'm just not strong enough, so I get someone else to go do it for me.
A two-man lift, a two-man lift, a one-man lift, a one-man lift. If you need two people to lift it, then you need two people to lift it. Even if you can pick it up on your own, get the second person.
Yeah.
Because he's always safer. And
yeah,
don't get me wrong, I've got a nice, an 1.5 inch long scar on my arm, thanks to carrying stuff around places. And yeah, didn't notice a nail was there when I lifted up a TV and just scraped it straight into my arm. Not a nail, sorry, a screw. I didn't notice it was there. Lifted the television up, and it was one of the, back before we had these nice thin LCDs, plasmas, things that are like 2 inches, 3 inches thick maximum. Back before we had them, when it was the cathode ray tubes and big 32-inch Sony Trinitron, those things weighed a ton. Those were almost 3-man lifts, never mind 2-man lifts.
Yeah.
It was lifting one of those things, and as I picked it up, I felt the screw in my arm cutting in and cutting through, and as I was carrying it, I could feel the blood dripping down my little finger and falling off, and you could literally follow where I was going just by the trail of blood I was leaving behind me. It was great.
Why didn't you say something and just stop?
I did say something, and the thing I said was, I'm bleeding, don't stop while we've got this thing in our hands. Get it to the place it needs to be, put it down, or sort it out afterwards. Because it was a fucking heavy TV and I weren't picking it up again. We was in motion, we were on our way, let's get it to where it needed to be. Then I'll put a plaster on it or something.
See, if I was in charge, I would speak to you about that and say that you did the wrong thing there. But I get why you did it.
Oh, this is back in the days where I was allowed to have a 2.5 foot long monkey wrench behind my counter, just in case anyone kicked off. I was allowed to have that there by the manager. So yeah, we're not quite talking the full health and safety days here. In fact, it was already there before I got there. It had a name and everything. It was awesome. It was called Fergie.
Fergie.
Yeah. It was good. They had one at the other counter as well, but they didn't have a monkey wrench. They just had a 2x4. And the other counter, they didn't need one because they had bulletproof glass. So they were safe. They were all right. I mean, that place all has bulletproof glass now behind pretty much everything. Anywhere with phones and high class or any kind of electronic small equipment has it behind bloody glass now. Last time I went in CEX, I was amazed. It was like, why have you got this behind? Who's going to try and steal it in the first place? And it's those crappy.
You'd be surprised what people want to try to steal these days.
Actually, I wouldn't. I've seen people steal just ridiculous stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, you've just stole that from the pound shop. Yeah. What do you need it for? Don't know. You're never going to use it? No. Why have you stole it?
Some people are just addicted to stealing.
Yeah, it's just like, right. What's the point? Don't do it. So yeah, they don't get it. I don't know why. Well, yeah, having worked in many shops, I've seen people steal things.
Yeah.
I've worked in a furniture shop where people have literally run into the front of the shop, and because the counter's at the back of the shop, they just picked up the sofa at the front and run off.
The sofa?
Sofa. About 3 of them just running, picked it up and ran off. And it's like by the time I've got from behind the counter and run up to the front of the shop, they'd already left the Arndale and were running off somewhere else. Like, right, okay.
You've got to admire their tenacity for that.
Oh yeah. I mean, literally, was like, you just need a 2-seater sofa. What? Well,
I could do with a new sofa as well. Actually, I'll get a couple of friends over. We'll go to British Heart Foundation, find a good sofa at the front of the store,
grab it.
See how I do not warrant stealing.
What, if you steal from the British Heart Foundation? You're getting away with it. None of them can run after you.
Yeah, exactly. It's just getting the train afterwards. It's going to be the problem.
Ah, right. You can get in the train afterwards. That's why you take 3 of you. One of you is taking the rest while the other 2 are carrying it, and you rotate. or you pick up one with wheels. One pushes.
Yeah, we're already stealing. We might as well steal a van as well.
I was thinking more casters, not fucking steal fucking car.
Oh, I'm not doing that.
Joey.
Edinburgh is full of hills, and in Inverkeithing, my own place is on top of a hill, so I'm not pushing it anywhere.
I've just realised I've not put that in the chat, which I normally do.
Oh, that might be why it's so quiet today.
Yes, that might be why it's so quiet today. But Joey coming in then is just reminding me that I've. Yep, there we go. Hint. That'll be why Lee didn't come up. That'll explain it. No, maybe you're right. He didn't have a link.
Well, he only comes up for 5 minutes and pisses off again.
True. But still, he didn't have a link, so he couldn't have come up. The link wasn't in the chat, and I'd only sent it out to selected few people because I thought they might not have been busy. Joey usually work around about. I just finishing work and probably starting the kids out around about this time, so I don't know whether he's necessarily got a chance to come up. It's like JV's usually finishing work about this time. Alan's kids are normally getting home, and his missus is getting home. Dan's sorting kiddo out around about this time as well. So, yeah, a lot of considering a lot of the other people I owe up are from across the pond. The time difference does play into it quite a lot.
It does.
Which I'm not happy about. Because I would rather be able to link up easier. But just because I'm not happy about something doesn't mean it's going to change or I can do anything about it. I can be not happy about
if you're doing it in the evening, it gives the Americans more chance to getting screwed. True. If you're doing this in the mornings, then you'd be screwed.
Oh no, because it depends what time. Because at the moment, Dorito who comes up sometimes. He's like a 12-hour time difference to us because he's on the far coast. He's in California. So when I go live at 9:15 at night, it's 9:15 in the morning for him.
Yeah, I suppose. Is it 12-hour difference?
For California.
I thought the Far Coast was
for
like
California. No, it's like
I thought the difference was like 5 hours on the East Coast and 8 hours on the West Coast or something like that.
No, 5 hours, 8 hours is more like Midwest.
Right,
and
okay.
And on the far side, I mean, we're talking like on the coast edge, it's like 11, 12 hours, and then when you get to Hawaii, it's like 13 hours. They're actually like a full. Yeah, it's like almost full days involved as you start getting further into the Pacific.
Oh, Square Table's going to come up.
Ah, excellent. Turn your volume down. That's your warning now. That is your one and only warning. Turn your volume down. I'm used to it. I'm all right. But you are?
And I'll be able to hear you. Something is working, and I'm not using headphones.
All right, okay.
That was one of the problems that I was having with sound before. Just
What, you
funnily
using
enough,
headphones?
sound is not working.
Yeah, that's odd. But yes, Joey's live, which was good for his visit over here because we got to sit on a practice session with a ska band called Skip Rap.
Yeah.
But the room was very small. Luckily, Joey was loud enough that I could hear him, which made conversations a whole lot easier because I could sign very basically, and then he could talk. Oh, for God's sakes. Well, they're getting better than just playing grey. Slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. I'm dreading the next stage of all this, you know.
What's that?
The great washing.
The washing's always the fun part.
Not when nothing you've done's been washed and everything needs washing. So everything's going to get the wash. So it's going to be like, the next 3 weeks, we're washing all this. And we're going through, and I'll go through the entire Space Marine Army again and wash it. And then highlight it. And then try and push it up. Those are the bits I'm going to enjoy more. I don't think I'm going to enjoy the great washing. I think I was going to be like the great blackening. The great blackening is a very dark time. Ha ha ha.
What shade are you using for your wash?
No. I got
okay.
shade.
I was worried that you were going to say Black Templar then because you would kill all your colour.
No, not oil. No, I got shade the standard washes.
Yeah, null oil is really good. Yeah.
Rakarth Flesh for golds and any yellows and reds and stuff.
I would use for gold. I tend to use Agrax Earthshade.
No, I liked the effect that I got from. Where are you, motherfuckers? Where are you, you twat? Where the fuck have they all gone? Pardon me?
Of course you've lost them again.
No, I know where they are. They're all in the brown cardboard box currently at my friend's house waiting to be used as proxies.
Okay. Oh, I think I am done for painting, so I might switch to build mode.
Fair enough.
Got a
I
few
am not
things
done.
to build.
I am not done for painting. And this is where the inconsistency of my stream starts to come in, because sometimes I'll be clocking off at this point. And I'm going, right, yeah, done for the night. Thank you very much. Good evening. Good home. Everyone. But now, I've still got a lot more work to do. So I won't be clocking off just yet. So Joey should make up for his drink, I hope.
Might be a late evening for us then tonight.
Well, you can clock off anytime you wish. I'm not forcing you
No,
to
I don't
stay
mind.
here.
I like staying in. This actually increases my productivity, actually. So,
which is the same here, which is why I do it. As I said,
yeah.
For however long my army was unpainted, completely and utterly in shambles. Since I started this, I think it's been over a year now. I don't know if we're coming up to a 2-year anniversary of some kind of thing or anything. I don't know. But since I've started this, there is very little in my army that I can't put on the table, and you'll be like, "Oh, I don't know what that is," because it's just grey. Like, no, you can see it's like, all right, no, there's that guy, there's that guy, there's that guy, there's that weapon in his hand, there's that weapon in his hand, there's that weapon in his hand. Oh, that's a different weapon in his hand. Okay. So now it's tabletop ready, pretty much. And considering the amount of models I had and still have, that's quite an achievement in and of itself. Especially seeing as I've been adding to it throughout all of it. It's not like I've just kept with what I had. I've added at least 2 box sets worth of Marines. And I don't mean standard infantry box sets. I mean discount box sets of Marines to my army since then, plus more. And we have the one and only Joey Square Table Degenerates himself. How are you doing, Michael?
What's up, Les? How you doing, buddy?
I am doing well. I'm doing well. I'm getting through this stuff at a reasonable pace.
Cool. You got so many paints right there, bro. There's like 15 of them.
What, there?
Yeah, look at that. Jesus Christ.
Oh, do you mean? Do you want
detail I can never get to, bro. I can never get to that kind of detail. I'm not a detail person, bro. I'm not.
That's half of my collection.
Holy crap. My goodness.
Yeah, we take this shit seriously, man.
Well, I'm a results guy. I'm just like a volume guy. Like I just yell and do things. I don't really like clean up or think about shit. You know what I mean? Because some people they go out there and they start cleaning. Like, oh, I love cleaning your room. I don't like cleaning your room. If I could pay somebody to clean a room, I would do it. You know what I mean? That's wasted time in my opinion. I'd rather be out there, doing stuff to, it's more fun, I guess. But I don't know.
Well, funny enough, that's what Synscape does. Whereas I'm sat on my house painting my own fucking army. They're sat there.
Yeah, pretty much everything I do is for someone else.
Somebody's paying them to paint their army.
Yeah,
because they can't be asked doing it. So yeah, it's people like you that are keeping them in the job. So they're happy to hear.
Oh, for sure. Well, it's symbiotic, bro. It's like when that fucking fish used to swim through the sea anemone in biology class. Remember that? That's what I taught you about. That's what I taught us about symbiosis. They called it a symbiotic relationship. They would show a clownfish, I think it was called, swimming through like this fucking big ass thing they called a sea anemone. Or maybe I'm just misreading that. I have to look that up. Let me see if that's the actual way it is, or I'm just misremembering shit. Let's see here.
You know about the thing that stings every other fucker else, but just leaves them alone and lets them live there?
Yeah, there was a stingray. When we visited the Virgin Islands, there was a stingray right at the beach. He would come up like swim right by your legs and shit.
I don't mean a stingray. I mean the thing that the clownfish live in stings everything. His tentacles and his thing is actually contain a venom that can that puts off the predators for the clownfish. But the clownfish is quite fine to go in.
It is clownfish and an enemy. It looks like it's going through it and shit. I mean, if the clownfish really wanted to survive, it should probably not color itself so bright orange. But I mean, whatever.
Yeah, but if all the plant life around you is orange and pink and yellow, and you want it bright, how do you think tigers survive being orange and black and white in the jungle? Because of the flowers and the greys and the browns and grass wilts, and it's not always green. So they blend in nice and easy because those colors exist, just not as predominantly as you think. But camouflage, you should know this shit. You were in the military, you know how camouflage works.
Oh yeah. Well, the funny thing about camouflage is back when I first got in the 90s, it was the way it was supposed to be. Like the camo worked. It was the whatever patterns, but they had woodland camouflage, you had desert camouflage. I think there was even urban camouflage at some point, winter camouflage, etc. But like in the 2000s, the Marines were the first to change their uniforms, which they did a good job, I think. They did. But then the Air Force changed, the Army changed, and it was just a horrible generation of uniforms. It really was. Like they called them ABUs, Airman Battle Uniform, which sounds ridiculous because 99% of the Air Force never is going to see battle. But like it didn't camouflage anything. It made you stick out. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, you might as well you might as well just borrow our red suits and wear them. Would have been easier. They're already made. You wouldn't have had to. So yeah, here you go. Pre-made stuff, just have to pay for shipping. But yeah, I don't see the point in making the new standard camouflage. If it works, it works. Why change? If it's not broken, don't change it.
Well, the reason, you know how it is with government, you got to do something to write off on a form. Like, General Smith bravely created a new uniform in a wartime environment. So, that's literally the only reason. And half the time they'll run out of contractors, or the contractor run out, so they gotta. And it seems like it's like a cycle. There'll be a push to get everybody, the Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, to get everybody in the same uniform, and then about 5 years after that, there'll be a push. Oh, each uniform needs its own identity, or each service needs its own identity. So it's a constant cycle of just ridiculousness.
Isn't that what America's built on? Constant cycle of ridiculousness.
Oh yeah, that's why they keep money. Well, it's funny because you think by law they got to make the military uniforms in these states. They can't outsource them to China and all that. But there's nobody who could do it cost effective, so they got freaking prisoners making half the uniforms for the military now. Because that's the only way they can make it cost effective and still fit under the I think it's a Bradley Act or some shit.
Well, I mean, I'm not against making prisoners do their
No, neither am I.
labor work, but not for the reasons of just being able to save money. It should be just because it's service,
I think it's just me talking. I know some people are like, oh, all prisoners should, be whipped every day, but you should pay prisoners somewhat of a livable wage-ish, 50 cents a day or whatever the fuck they get. Come on, man.
Well, it depends. It depends on cost of living.
True.
Well, there is
50 cents a day, but a packet of cigarettes costs you 10 cents. Can you live off that? A packet of noodles costs you 5 cents. If you want.
I
I
do agree with paying prisoners somewhat of a wage because it gets them into that habit of the real world when they eventually get out, if they get out. But they also have to be taught other shit as well.
No, it's supposed to be the Department of Rehabilitation and Correction.
Yes.
That's what they call it here, at least. They never rehabilitate. They just only try to correct them. It's just they try to. You ever seen that sign that says beatings will continue until morale improves? That's what they do. It seems like it's just like they'll put them in solitary. Oh, you get better in solitary. How the fuck are you going to get better in solitary confinement when you're fucking watching Rats Race or whatever the hell they do because you're so bored? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's only so many times a day you can beat up in front of the camera.
Literally.
It's certainly true that the prison system in America and in the UK as well does not do a good job.
No.
In Europe, though, in some countries in Europe, they have it really, really well done, like mainland Europe. I know UK is Europe, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but they'll grade it. They won't. I know there's some countries that have pretty much open prisons.
Yeah, Finland. You know how much I obsess with Finland. Finland is an open prison system, and most people who
walk the street. But if it's a petty crime, you pretty much you're not really in prison. You've just got to make sure you're back at that place it's almost like house arrest.
Exactly.
Prison.
In Finland, they actually have a really good high rate of prisoners actually rehabilitating. They've got a really good system for rehabilitation, and it works. I think it's like only 10-15% of prisoners end up going back into prison.
Well, here in the States, I mean, they make it to where you almost can't. There's nothing you can do but go back to prison, or because you got to do the things you were doing. Like, say you were busted for, I don't know, selling coke or whatever, and you go to jail for 5-10 years, and you get out 5 years, say. Then you get out, you got a felony record, so you can't work at a school, you can't work at a law firm, you can't work at a doctor's office. They make the only jobs you can work is like landscaping and maybe Uber. Now it's kind of a little better because the job market is really tight. When I say tight, like if you're able to work in the States, you can get a job. I mean, every place in town is hiring. It's like 3% unemployment. It's just the wages and cost of living are an issue. If you got a giant house, you're not going to make house payments only making $15 an hour, but it's still, I mean, if you put Cleveland's, at least where I'm at, it's still kind of reasonable. If you got 2-3 people, you could, they all put in, you could rent a house, and still live fun. Just got everybody. When I was in my 20s, I had roommates. I mean, that's just how it was. I mean, I don't know how people do now.
To stay at home with the parents.
Yeah.
I stayed home till I was like 23, I think. But I still, even up until I was like 30, until I got married, I still kept shit over there because I would go visit all the time. I mean, if you're not married, you don't have a girlfriend, fuck else you gonna do? You just go home, talk to your parents, hang out, do your laundry, etc.
Shit, I think I've still got my Star Trek DVD collection, actually. That's reminding me.
DVDs. I have so many DVDs. the one. I mean, some of them I obviously keep. I'm going to keep I got the Godfather on DVD, and I got the whole Seinfeld series. But
I
like
can't stand that program.
Seinfeld.
Yeah,
Why not?
It's
It's one of the few American shows that is actually good.
no, never made me. I don't think he's ever made me laugh once. He's not even made me go. Never.
Yeah,
It's
fair
just
enough. I mean, to be fair, that's how I feel about South Park. South Park has never even made me
I'll
go.
laugh my ass off. South Park, I will laugh my ass off.
That's never made me go. Friends was good-ish. I can't think of very many sitcoms that I like from America, to be honest. But then the American sense of humor is very different to ours.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Well, yeah, never got Seinfeld. Never understood it. But that could be me because, yeah, most things usually are me, in fairness.
Oh, everybody loves Raymond. That was a good.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
It was a good TV series.
That title was a lie. That title was a lie. I thought Raymond was a prick.
Yeah, that was the whole point of it. It's meant to be an ironic name.
Nobody liked Raymond. Everyone thought it was a jumped up little monkey and just like did as he was told. And, fuck you, bitch. Just get down there and you can say that funny line. Say the funny line. Yeah. Fuck off home.
It was good though. It was good.
Nope. Didn't like it. Although the dad was all right, but that's because I like the actor rather than.
Oh god, yeah, he was probably one of the best actors in that show. So, what's your favorite American show then?
Should I give an honest answer or should I give a funny answer?
Honest.
My favorite American TV show.
Comedy.
My favorite American comedy.
Yeah, I can give one actually.
That's not American. That's not American.
Mine is a show in America that actually the concept was taken from British, but they actually did a better job, which is a rare occasion.
If you dare say Shameless, I'm kicking you off this stream.
No, I hate Shameless, American Shameless.
If you say Red Dwarf, I'm kicking you off this stream and never inviting you back on.
I didn't even know America did a Red Dwarf. No, Red Dwarf is one of my favorite British shows.
They did a pilot. It was fucking terrible.
No, my one is The Office. The American Office was actually better than the English Office.
Right. I should rewatch The Office because Ricky Gervais did my tits in for a very long time. And now it's kind of like, oh, right, okay, now I get you. So I'm going to have to go back and watch The Office.
The Office, the British Office was very good. The American one was better.
I've seen episodes of The Office and I like Steve Carell, but it's like, I don't know, man. It's, I think it's just because I work in an office. Same reason I don't like going to the air show because I was in the Air Force. I've already seen these planes, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just, and I know how corporate America works and they just don't get along in corporate America, most people, you know what I mean? There's just, you know, so I guess it's a humble thing. If you like think back to the 80s and 90s, it was a little different, but.
Have you ever had a chance to watch the English one?
I haven't. I've seen like clips of it, but I haven't like sat through and watching a whole episode or anything like that.
You might like it because the comedy is, I mean, it's similar because it's like the cringe-worthy boss in an office. He thinks he's everything, but the comedy is fairly different.
Well, we had people in the service like that who were, they get promoted, but they were just fucking idiots. I mean, there's people like that in every company, you know what I mean? But there's so many of them in the service because, like, in the military, if you're, fit, I say fit, if you're stereotypical, you can tell people who are fit. Like, if you're fit and, you can pass the test, they'll promote you just because of image. And it really suffers on the back end because a lot of these muscle heads are just fucking morons. There's more to life than going to the gym. I know people are like, oh, go to the gym. Yeah, fuck the gym. The gym's depressing. The gym is horrible. The gym's going to do nothing but drain your bank account. If you got the will to go work out, just go work out in your backyard. Go work out at the park. Run out on the street. You don't need the fucking gym. So
go
I don't
to the library. That's a better one.
What's that?
Go to the library instead. That might be a novel idea for a couple of them.
I mean, you can go on your phone. It's the same thing as going to the library, really. I mean, all the books are on your phone at this point. You know, I'm not a big. I mean, I get libraries, but it's like, budget constraint time. I can't. I don't know, man. I mean, I guess they do serve purpose for like, they can still have conference rooms but it's like, I mean, who the fuck reads books anymore, man? It's fucking 2023, bro.
I still read books occasionally.
Books are fantastic.
You can read books on your phone, though. You can get the ebook.
No, you can't. You can read words off your phone. You can't read a book on your phone.
Or books bad for you.
This is one of the rare occasions I agree with Lazar.
Biodegradable.
I always like messing with bookheads. Jules, right? You've seen Jules before. She's I always fuck with her about books. I'm like, you're wasting your time reading books. They're bad for the environment. Makes me laugh.
About as bad for the environment as beavers. And I love beavers. Wow, nothing off joy for that one.
I'm exactly the age of beavers, but when they came out in 93, they were 15.
I said beavers, not beavis.
Oh, I thought you said beavers.
Beaver,
pussy. They used to have the Great American Beaver Hunt. There was this magazine called Hustler. And they used to have the Great American Beaver Hunt. They would just show pussy pics.
How many edibles have you had so far today?
I don't know, but I got off work at 4:30, so that was 2 hours ago. So I'm pretty smoked out. I mean, I smoked a lot.
Right. I'm just checking that. Yeah, you're working on a different wavelength than me at the moment. You're lucky.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, just making sure I know where I'm standing at the moment, because I was expecting a response from you, but I didn't get it, and then I realized, hang on a minute, he's been eating.
Not stopping by to he's getting a cart because he's out of his cart already. I don't know why he just doesn't go to Michigan and get him himself. I mean, I'll upsell him. I buy him for it's like 14 carts for fucking $100, and I'd sell them for $30. People still pay it because you go. Where else you gonna get them? You know what I mean? So that's how. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, you're all right. You've got your nice little medical card, even though it's fallen to pieces. Have you got that replaced yet?
It's actually all digital. I haven't printed the one out. It's just on my phone now.
All right, so you don't need that folded up piece of.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I can't even call that a piece of paper anymore.
Do I still even have that? I probably still have it. Wait, this one. Let me see if I still have it. I might still have it, actually. Yeah, I still do got it. Hold on. This is what the medical marijuana card looks like when you print it out.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but it's all falling apart, like Lance said. It just
Yeah.
I think I showed you that when I was over there.
Yeah, it's not ripped. It's actually the paper's delaminated. It's been used that much that the paper itself has delaminated, which I didn't think was possible in something like a solid piece of paper. And not just one layer. I think it was in like 3 layers when you showed it me. Like a single piece of paper in 3. How have you even managed that? The amount of times you folded it up and put it in thing.
I get it. I wonder what's going to happen to the medical program if we legalize recreational. I wonder if they're going to drop the price a little bit or something. I mean, I'll tell you right now, if it's fucking legal recreationally, I'm not going to pay $150 for the fucking medical card. I mean, it doesn't make no sense. Because at the dispensaries, I get the discount. I get the veterans discount. Someone will give me like 10-15%.
Maybe if you've got a medical card, you get an extra discount.
Yeah, well, if you get the medical card, you don't have to pay that. There's like an excise tax. You don't have to pay that if you got medical. And if you got the veterans, there's another discount. It's like 5 to 10, depends on where you're at. And usually for every $100 you spend, you get like $5 or a couple dollars in credit. I think it's like $5 in credit, something like that. So I usually use that when I'm up there too. So I come out with a nice fucking stash every time you get up there. I always go through the edibles really fast though, because like half of them I give to Kim because the wife uses gummies to go to sleep, and then if I got and I'll always I have a rule. I only bring up $500. I don't bring up no more than that, because if I did, I fucking spend $1,500 up there. You know what I mean? It's because there's no limits now. It used to be like you go up to Michigan, you only get 2.5 ounces a day, but now they just say whatever. You know, they bring it up as separate transactions, but they don't give a fuck. So it's like, fuck, I can get whatever I want. So I'll go up there and get these ounces of shake for, dude, it's like fucking $20-$30 for an ounce of shake. And I'll get a bunch of those.
I'm pretty convinced that if America legalized it across the country, the price would go skyrocket because the government would try to take as much as they can from it.
Well, it's weird. Well, it's great though, because what happens, the price. It's actually the opposite. Like the price has just dropped. It's
You're
plummeted
getting competition.
during this mini
On the black
recession.
market,
Whatever's
yeah,
going on.
because it's not a black
No.
market thing anymore.
But it's the only thing that's prices went down has been weed because it's like they granted so many dispensary licenses, like way too many in some of these states, and it's like the price just drops because there's competition. You know, the beauty of capitalism. So it's like, I mean, even when they tax it, you know, it's still, I mean, the overall price is just plummeted. And if they legalize in Ohio, I mean, they'll try to do the rates they do now, but they're not going to be able to because we can still just drive up to Michigan. Why the fuck would I pay, you know, 3 times the rate in Ohio because just go to Michigan? So it's like, they'll have to balance it out eventually. You know, I mean, it might take a little bit, but it's, yeah, I mean, if they legalize it federally, I mean, unless they regulate it like cigarettes, but even then, you get so much home grow provisions in a lot of these states. I mean, like, you know, you can have like some places you can have like 6 flowering plants in a rotation and shit. You do that, fucking, there's no way they can, you know. So I think the price, America might, it sounds weird, but America might become a huge, like, drug smuggling, you know, the other way place if they legalize it federally. Because, like, dude, how many ports we got? How many fucking pilots, boats, planes, and shit going the other way? Fuck, that might be. I always say the way to beat the fucking Taliban, way to beat fucking Chinese communists, just drop a bunch of weed in all these fucking places. Them guys will like that shit and fucking good to go. They'll save you a lot of fucking money instead of sending bombs. Just fucking airdrop ounces in that bitch. They'll fucking eat that shit and we're good to go, son.
Wait 2.5 hours and just walk down the street with a single Mars bar or a single Snickers and watch the entire country follow you.
You can take out half of Shanghai with fucking 15 pounds of gummies and 3 blondes. Let's be real. That'd be a great movie, actually.
No, you wouldn't, because as soon as you sent a blonde woman over there, it'll be Godzilla. Because the height differences.
Oh man, I feel for the Chinese people though. They're great people. They're hardworking people.
You can't see them below your eye line. You've got to feel for them. You've got to put your hands out and feel. Otherwise, you're going to step on one of them.
My son wants to go to
racist jokes. There's just jokes YouTube. There's jokes. Don't cancel me YouTube.
That joke was ridiculous. Jimmy wants to go. Jimmy wants to go to Japan next year, so I got to get him his passport and get some tickets. Figure out what the deal is. And
if you going to Nintendo Land or any of that lot,
yeah, that's the place he wants to go. Was a Nintendo Land place. Yeah,
pre-book it months in advance.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, April's when we'll be going, so that's good to know. I got to
book it now. Book it now because that place is just so popular, so fully booked. It's like if you're lucky, you might be able to get down there on the day, and maybe there might be tickets left.
Okay.
But the chances are you're not getting in. If you just
that's the one in Osaka, right? I think that's what he said. It was Osaka.
Yeah, you've got Nintendo World. You've got they're all in the same area, so you'll have their equivalent of Disneyland, the Universal thing that they've got over there as well. The Pokemon World, the Nintendo World, and there's a couple of others that are included in it. Funnily enough, we was looking at it like the other night with me and my missus.
I'll have to figure out what I do for a week with no weed over there, bro, because they don't have weed in Asia pretty much. So,
no, you're going cold turkey, mate. They don't have it. You get caught, you'll go in prison.
Dude, every city's got weed, so I'm gonna find the Yakuza over there. If you know the people who got their thumbs, don't they chop off their pinky? You know what I mean? So I'll just find all the guys with no pinky and be like, "Yo, konnichiwa, where's the weed at?" And he'd be like,
"No,
come with me, sir. Come with me. I have bring them."
No,
that's not China, is it? That's like the Middle East countries that chop off your fingers.
Yeah. Well, the gangs though, they have the gangs in Japan.
That's only if you fucked up. If you've got all your fingers, it means you've been doing a good job. If you fucked up, you start losing fingers.
Oh, that's what they do. Okay.
Right. Yeah, don't go to the Yakuza asking for drugs, because no, you won't be getting them.
What I do know, I know them guys love basketball though, so I might just bring a bunch of fucking old LeBron shit over there and be like, "Yo, vintage," and just drop it. They probably buy the fuck out of that. Because I got LeBron jersey. It's funny, dude, because LeBron's been in the league so long, dude. I got his jerseys from his rookie year, and they're selling them up there at the mall as throwbacks now. The same ones I got in my closet.
That's is really weird. I'm seeing Man U shirts and kits being sold now as vintage kits. It's like, I can compare us in my wardrobe, and you're selling it as a vintage kit. It's like, shit. Okay, maybe not.
Right. It's funny. I mean, it's funny what they consider throwbacks. It's like 20 years ago doesn't seem like a throwback, but I guess it is.
saying this earlier, is like I was trying to think back 15 years ago, and then I realized what I think 15 years ago isn't 15 years ago. It's more like 20, 25 years ago.
Right, 1996 was not 15 years ago. That was like 27 years ago.
It's like, yeah, oh shit, yeah, that was a bit of a difference. It's like time scaling on that side it's weird. It is very weird how time can just switch in its perspective. It just throws my head out completely. So you say something happens 20 years ago, I don't actually know how long ago that was. I can't figure it out anymore. He's gone.
2003. Yeah, I was still in the service in 03. Shit.
2003.
I was a hot mess in 03, actually. I was drinking a lot in 03.
Yeah, so was I. I was Jesus.
The girlfriend at the time, she's passed away. She had multiple sclerosis. She passed away in 2010. That was after we broke up. But so I couldn't even so half the memories are probably just gone. Well, obviously they're gone if she's dead. But like I mean, it's wild, right? Just think about that. Like think about all the people you knew in 2003 and how many of them are dead now. That's wild. That wasn't that long ago. I guess it was now. It seems like everything after the year 2000 is like fucking not as long. Before the year 2000, it's like twice as long. I don't know.
Everything after the year 2000 still feels like the last decade.
Mm-hmm.
But
it seriously feels like we lost an entire decade. Like from 2001 to 2010 doesn't feel like it exists, you know?
Yeah, we just started at 2011. It's like, what?
I have that say. I thought that was just me. Like when people say, "Oh yeah, that was 1998 or something," I think, "Oh yeah, well that was only like 5-10 years ago."
No, that's everybody as they get older, I think.
Yeah,
because you've got a different perspective and you've got a lot more stuff going on within that time. It's like, well, a year's not as long as it used to be anymore because I've been through 30 or 40 of them now.
That's what it is. Yeah, think about it, when you're 10 years old, 1 year is 10% of your life. When you're 50 years old, 1 year is what, 2% of your life? So yeah, it does just is less of your life.
Yep.
Yeah, true.
So you're going through it, and because you've had that build up, it's weird. It's a phenomenon. That I think everyone goes through.
Oh, for sure.
Everyone goes through.
Dude, I remember thinking.
Thank you for coming into this stream then, and like, bringing the mood down and making me realize I'm nearly dead.
Look, do you know what make you feel happy? As soon as you finished puberty, you started dying. And that is literally it. You grew all the way up to the end of puberty, and from that point forward, you started dying. Because you weren't growing anymore.
It's typical that you would say that because you're such a negative person.
I think that's a good thing.
Nah, you can't make it. You can't change it. There's no point in worrying about it.
No, that's true. The less you worry about stuff you can't change, the more better your life's going to be. I mean,
yep.
I have to go get some more coffee. That part I could change. I'll be right back.
2 sugars, cream, please.
I don't like coffee, thanks.
Well, no, because
unless it's sweet with chocolate. I like mocha.
When you're born, you grow and your cells divide and don't deteriorate. There is no loss of core programming, shall we say, when you're born. Every time your cells divide, they regenerate. Up until the point where you finish puberty, then every time you divide, the cells divide to heal, there is a slight degradation. So that's my smart ass answer to that one. So I'm sorry. I do have a lot of smart ass answers.
It's probably bullshit as well.
No, because that's why kids grow. That's why they get bigger, because their cells divide and there is no degradation.
Yeah, but it doesn't just stop when you're 18 or whatever.
No. I said finish puberty. There's no specific age.
Yeah, but it doesn't just stop at that point. I'm pretty sure that's not the case.
That's the point where it stops being the perfect. That's where it stops having its growth. And at that point, each time it divides, it loses a micro amount of the data each time. That's why people who've had lives and hard working stuff usually have lots of wrinkles and lots of. It's because the cells have divided so much that they're no longer holding the form that they used to when they was young. Those people who look very baby-faced or have had an easier life usually have softer, plumper, younger looking skin because he's not had to go through the amount of divisions and the amount of healing that somebody else had. And that's how we end up like that. Look, as I said, I think things, I overthink things, but I watch a lot of crap as well. I read a lot of crap.
You watch a load of crap, you read a load of crap, you talk a load of crap.
So I find out lots of little bits about lots of little things that I have no actual interest in. Really, no real interest in. But you get stuck there. It's hard. And I'm hopeless at quizzes, which is, you think, with the amount of random shite in my head, I would have to be okay at quizzes. But no.
I think that's the disadvantage of having a lot of random shite in your head. You can never remember which one is which.
Yep. I can't remember which bit is where. It's like the random shit like lobsters are potentially immortal because they don't have that degradation in cells when they grow.
It's only one particular breed of lobsters, I think. Not all of them have that.
It might only be one particular breed, but yeah, that breed is potentially immortal. I mean, there's no.
Actually, is it lobsters? I thought it was octopus.
No, it's lobsters because of the way they regenerate and they get a fresh new body every time with no degradation in cells. It's just slightly bigger, and they literally have to pull out their insides and the exoskeleton all out through the mouth, and they have to come out the back way. So they get new lungs, new organs, new shell, new claws, they get a new everything. You have a good night, Sam. You have a good night. Yeah, pop that picture in Discord and Sin's Discord, and I'll see if I can come up with something better than the bloody tampon.
See you, Sam. See you on Monday.
Aye, Monday. Did Sam win this week?
Oh yeah, his winning streak has come back again. He won twice this week.
Oh, okay. Sam's back on farm.
What was it he won? He won the Baron of Dice set of dice and the new Horus Heresy Battle Group box.
Is that the one that comes with the special weapons sprue?
I have no idea. I think so, maybe. It's got the new Duredio in it.
It's got, yeah, you get a Dreadnought in it, you get a Land Raider in it, and you get 20 Marines in it. And
25, because you get the Horus Heresy version of the Hellblasters.
No, it's not just Hellblasters. You get the entire special weapons sprue. So you'll get 10 Plasma, you'll get 10 Neo Volkite, you'll get.
All right, I didn't really look at it that much.
Thingy Volkite, you'll get the Melters, and you'll get Flamers as well.
Yeah, so yeah. The picture showed 5 guys at the back with plasma guns. So I just assumed it was a unit of the Horus Heresy Hellblaster guys.
No, it's a full weapon. It's full heavy weapons sprue. You can turn every single tactical marine in there into a special weapon wielding nutcase.
Okay,
which is not bad. Pretty much what they've done with
it probably is that box.
Yeah. That's a shit version because you don't get the Terminators, and you don't get as many guys, and you don't get the captains or the Praetors or whatever.
That's fine. You get the launch box set for that, and then you get this as to beef it up.
No, what? No, because you're missing out on the heavy weapons sprue, Sam. And I want the missile launchers for that. Mainly because I don't want to spend the price that they're charging for 5-man fucking squad with T-shirt cannons.
I'm sure eventually they'll bring them out for Horus Heresy.
Well, the missile launchers are already out. You can buy the sprues for just the weapons.
No, I mean in like one of the big boxes.
Oh, no, I mean you just buy a tactical armor box and you buy the box of the heavy weapons and you just go, right, they're all them now.
All right.
And because the primary size as well, the new tacticals were about the same size as these. Might be slightly smaller, but not much in it. Then stick them on with missile launchers, and then I've got desolation squads without having to pay desolation prices. Or at least have 10 desolation squad marines without having to pay in 60 or 70 fucking quid for it. Jesus.
Yeah, I know. It's not.
It's an expensive army, this, Joey. It's an expensive army.
It's an expensive hobby.
Yeah, it is. It's just a stupid one. Right.
You guys spend your money on something, bro. It is what it is, man. I mean, you can't.
It's even more expensive in America, though. I've been talking to a lot of American gamers.
Oh yeah.
You know, like Combat Patrol here is £95, right? In America, it's $160, which is roughly about £130 for Combat Patrol.
There's an entire shop up there. It's called what the fuck is the name of that place? Recess.
Warhammer?
It's called Recess, and they have like a bunch of they have meetings. Like guys will go up there, like 8 guys will go up there and play a game or whatever. You know, the different games. I'm not no clue, but my son likes it, so he'll go up there and play the Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. But they have all the equipment and anything you can think of for any of that stuff. I don't know the prices, comparisons even close, but it's a pretty slick shop, man. They got. I mean, Jesus, it's games I never even heard of. Like I don't even know how to pronounce that.
There's loads of gaming systems in this hobby. Loads. It's just Warhammer is the biggest one of them all.
Yes, it is the leading tabletop war game. I'm just looking at this Recess place. I've probably got the wrong one because this looks like they've got loads of outdoor stuff. Hold
on, I'll see if I can find it here. Hold on.
Rage Cage in the dodgeball, foosball, bouncing things. Yeah, I think I'm looking at a completely wrong thing.
Go to recess.net.
Recess games. There we go. What do we do? Participate shop. Let's Games Workshop. There we go. Let's see how much they're doing stuff for.
White Dwarf. Yes, I don't even. Well, there's Warhammer right there. Okay. Warhammer Space Marine Terminator Squad 2023, $65.
Yeah, $65, which is roughly about £50.
Yeah, £50 or so.
We pay about £40 for a box.
Okay.
I think it's $42.50 we're paying for a box of them at the minute. Yes, they are stupid ass prices. But yeah, they don't seem to have much in, really. Let's see.
Oh god, yeah, the full range of Warhammer stuff is insane. You wouldn't get the whole thing in a shop.
No, I mean just on
even Games Workshop stuff. Even Games Workshop shops don't store everything in them.
Oh no, I went in today and I wanted a Neuralixer and they didn't have any. Didn't have a single Neuralixer in the shop. I was like, what? How can you not have a Neuralixer? It's one of your new bloody models. Right, so they're charging how much for the $110 for the starter set? Okay, because that's not a bad way to.
That's about £70-80, I think, isn't it? I don't know. It depends which starter set you're on about.
Not the introductory set, the starter set. So we got introductory starter, £65.
Okay, so it's almost double.
Yeah.
Well, not almost double. $110 is what? £85?
Give or take, yeah. So yeah, you're getting ripped on this. Don't start.
I know a few American gamers, and they're all paying ridiculous prices.
So yeah, don't let your kids start this hobby. Don't start this hobby yourself. Stay the hell away from it.
You know how we paid like I think it was what $140 for Leviathan.
Yeah, they're charging $300 on that site.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Americans are paying like £260, where we're paying $140. God, I'm glad I live here.
Have we had a price for the Christmas battle forces yet?
Not yet. They only announced what the boxes were yesterday.
I know, and that Tyranny one looks interesting.
It's very meh when you think about the rules. There's nothing in there that's exceptionally good, if you know what I mean.
Non-emissary will go quite nicely with the Psychophage and the Neurotyrant.
Yeah, and actually, it's probably going to be the only way you'll get a non-emissary because they're impossible to get at the moment.
Yep. Plus, I could do with the Hive Tyrant because I don't have one.
The Hive Tyrant is a nice model as well. Yeah.
And it's usually a staple in a Tyranid force. I don't have one, so it would be nice to have one. And having something run up alongside the Gene Stealers with the Termagants is nice.
Yeah.
As well as the counter effects running up behind them or in front of them, depending on who gets the better advance rolls.
For me personally, none of the battle boxes are interesting to me.
Yeah, the Space Marine one I just give up on because it's all fast attack. I don't want to jump. I don't need any more jump assault. Thank you.
I do plan on doing a fast attack army someday. Like, I don't know what I'll do. Like, maybe it'll be Raven Guard. I don't know, but
that's the thing.
I don't like the ATV. I don't like the ATV at all. The Outriders are a bit crap these days. The rules for the Outriders are nowhere near as good as they used to be. So they're not really worth it. And then I don't really want 3 squads of 5 jump pack intercessors as the rest of my army because it's a bit boring. You know,
I've already got 3 squads of 5 assault marines. So I'll just
assault intercessors. Yeah.
Well, no, the old assault marines, which we can now class as assault intercessors because they've got jetpacks. And I used to put my tactical rock and a bigger base into that.
I'll be spoken for a minute, so I'll be muted, all right?
No worries, man. No worries. So yeah,
I plan on upgrading. Like, I've got a unit of 10 assault intercessors for my Black Templars, and I do plan on getting some Etsy 3D printed backpacks that look exactly the same as the new jump infantry ones.
See, I don't like that backpack.
I like the backpack, but I just don't like the poses on the models that much.
No, so I'm going to stick with my assault squad with jump packs and just stick on tactical rocks. And then, hey,
it's the tactical rocks that put me off.
That's just to bring them up to the same height as.
No, I think they missed a trick. I think they should have done flight stands and made them look good.
No. I think they learned the lesson after these ones and the other ones.
Oh no, they look crap. Yeah, they look crap. They're not very dynamically posed, but other companies, non-Games Workshop, make good flight stands. So Games Workshop could take inspiration from them. What I plan on doing is I'm going to be getting flight stands from other companies that are better quality.
Oh, you're with third-party flight stands?
I don't know. I haven't decided where I'm getting them from. I just know there's other companies that do better flight stands.
Right. What do I need to do to get you equivalent to him?
I'm just going to put jetpacks on my assault intercessors.
That's my heavy.
That's a heavy intercessor, isn't it?
Proxy.
Yeah, but you can tell it's a heavy intercessor.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm just trying to get it so I can get the colours lined up, so I'm doing the right things in the right parts. So I know I'm not missing anything while I'm going through it.
What did Joey say he was doing? And just disappearing off for a bit.
Yeah, he's just got to go do something for a minute. Aha, that's
those proxy heavy intercessors look tiny compared to the. Yeah, don't like that. The heavy intercessors are in the same armor as the eradicators, so they should be the same size.
They are.
They're not. Look at both models from the front, and the eradicators look a lot more beefy and.
That's going to be his gun.
It might be the gun. Yeah, it might be.
His gun's much bigger. See.
Yeah. It might be that. Yeah, maybe it's the same.
He's not quite the same, but it's close. He's very close. He's close enough for me to be able to get away with it, which is the main thing. I think that's all I've got left currently. Most of my armor here at the moment. A lot of it's being used as proxies. I don't have 50 termagants. but I fielded them. I put them on the field. Tactical Marines coming useful. I need a new brush because I forgot to wash that one properly. I'm an idiot. Yes, I am.
Yes, you are, certainly.
Oh. Stop fighting that way and don't you dare fall because it took me a while to get you balanced.
It'll fall now.
It shouldn't do.
A part of me hopes it does now for the fun of it.
I hope it doesn't because it's right above my water bottle. And although my phone says it's water resistant, I don't want to put it to the test.
What phone is it?
Oppo A54.
No. Apple break every time you look at them.
No. Oppo. OPPO.
Oh, Oppo. All right. Okay. I don't know anything about Oppo.
Neither did I, but the specs served me to a degree that was okay, and it was a lot cheaper than the equivalents
Yeah.
for Samsung and Apple.
There's a YouTube tech company channel that I watch. I'm pretty sure they have reviewed Oppo and said that they were pretty good. But they said that it was they were standard phones, but they did them really well.
Yeah, there's Oppo and then there's Ono. Ono, I suppose to be a really good set of phones. But yeah, I said Oppo are quite middle of the roadish.
Yeah, but they specialize in that middle of the road, you know.
Yeah, decent phones for a decent budget.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
They're not trying to do something that they're not capable of doing.
In fairness, it's done everything I've thrown at it so far. It's 4K, it's HDR. It's actually a half decent phone. Like 4 gig of RAM in it.
Well, 4 gig might be a bit low these days, but it's not too bad.
I mean, it runs a PlayStation emulator. I have DuckStation running on it. I can play PlayStation 1 games on it.
PlayStation 1, they're like 16-bit, not 16-bit.
Yeah, but it's running that as well as its own. It's running a double operating system at that point. It's running its own It's running the PlayStation operating system within its own operating system.
I feel as though most things these days can do that.
Yes, they should. But for a cheap phone, you'd expect it to do it or not do it as well. It's doing it. It's doing it pretty damn well. It's even managing the videos and the FMVs and cutscenes, and it's like, oh, this is working all right. Because when you first could emulate on phones, I was doing it on a Note 2.
What PS1 games are you playing on it?
At the moment, I've started Suikoden 2.
No, never heard of that one.
If you like JRPGs, I suggest you give them a try. The entire series, well, 1 and 2, definitely, and then 5. You can miss 3 and 4. They're not in chronological order anyway, so don't have to worry about that. 3 and 4 as games aren't as good, but 1 and 2 for PlayStation 1 games, and for when they was released, is like these were really good games for the time, and they still play well today. It's just that you've got to get past the older graphics and the look. You're not going to get 75,000 people running across this battlefield. You've got to make do with these little sprites going at each other. Be a big battle. The second one gets it a bit better. By the time it gets to 5, it's actually on the PlayStation 2. So by then it's like, okay, we can do a bit more now. We can make it look a lot better. We can put full voice acting. We can put better voice acting in, and they kept what was good about the first 2 games, the core things that were good about the first 2 games in 5. And they added Playthrough Plus, which was good. But it's a very nice set of JRPGs, and there's a lot of versatility in how you can build your party. the whole idea of the game is to collect 108 stars. Those 108 stars are people.
Yeah.
Majority of them are going to be able to go in your party. And you've got to pick between, it's about sort of 60 or 70 people, which ones you want to be in your party. Some will be short range, some will be long range, some will be melee, some will be bow, some will be mid range with, and then you've got the magic system, which you can exploit to do other things, and as well as combo attacks, and it's quite an in-depth little game.
Okay.
Once you get to grips with all of it, but you can play it as a very simple, just play through the story JRPG. You won't get all 108 stars. You'll get sufficient amount to. You'll get the mandatory ones, the ones that you have to do to complete the game. The ones that it will give you going like, look, you're gonna need this many characters. You're gonna need them to be about this strong. But you'll get those ones as you're working through it, but you won't get this more specialized for characters or the extra characters that would boost you a little bit better. Unless you go mooching around and wandering.
Yeah. I get you.
And have I just disconnected and reconnected again? Yes.
I can hear you, but
Yeah,
can't see you.
You'll hear me because it's coming from this one. The sound comes through this one in case that one drops.
Oh, now you're back.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Yep, I heard it pop. I heard it go doop. So I knew something. I knew somebody had dropped or come back in. I just wasn't sure whether it was me or Joey. In this case, it was me. Which I don't understand why it did that, although I have been having problems with my Wi-Fi recently, so it could have something to do with it. Because my phone's running off the Wi-Fi to do this, whereas, see, I'm not that daft. My PC is wired direct. I don't run my PC on Wi-Fi, it's just stupid. Although I am happy to say I've also managed to get Cyberpunk working recently. My machine decided it wasn't.
I played that in the first within the first like 4 or 5 months of it.
Yep.
And obviously, so that means I didn't get it until I played it before the updates and stuff that made it better. But even after the updates that made it better, I still keep hearing bad things about it. Or I don't hear anything about it at all. So it's like, I don't know if I want to go back into it again.
I've gone back into it because one of my friends has been playing it again since the updates.
Is it any good now, or? I've heard it is in some respects, but not in others.
Yeah, it's okay. It's basically. Do you enjoy Skyrim, Fallout, any of them games?
Did I enjoy what?
Skyrim or Fallout or?
Oh, I enjoyed both of them, but
right.
From what I played of
yeah, originally, yeah, no, it's nothing like them. It's a little more in vein of that now. You don't have to train or have a skill tree to do your upgrades and stuff on your weapons. You don't have to have a tree in that anymore. You can just do the upgrades, just dismantle the stuff, and if you've got the stuff to make the upgrade, you can make the upgrade. So that's simpler now. I
don't remember how it was, so that's.
You used to have to spec into a tree, and that'll give you chances of getting more stuff back and chances of getting rarer stuff. And so if you spec properly into that, you could get a shitload of rare stuff really early on in the game with a piece of piss. Because the game didn't scale with you. Now it scales with you. So once you start getting towards that level, they'll start getting the stuff that is a little bit better and doing you more damage, but they'll start dropping it. So you should just about be able to stay ahead of the curve if you upgraded all your stuff.
Okay.
If you only rely on what you pick up off on the street, you'll be a little bit underpowered for the curve that you're on, but you should still be all right. If you don't upgrade anything or pick anything up, you're going to get shot to shit and you're going to die. So the game
that's
now...
Fine. That's just good balancing in the game. That's fine.
So,
I want about like just like the fun of playing it. I got bored fairly quickly playing it. It just wasn't captivating enough.
But that I don't know. That might be a person-to-person thing. So
It might also be because, like, when I play games like that, I prefer the big open world, lots of exploration, traveling kind of thing, like Skyrim had and Fallout. Whereas with I've forgotten the name of the game we're talking about.
Cyberpunk 20
With Cyberpunk, it's like
2077.
yes, it was a city, but it was just a city, and you got a car, so you could just drive around and get to the location you want. It was like the journey getting to things doesn't exist. Whereas in Skyrim and Fallout, the journey getting from point A to point B, things happened on the way, and there was like story content on the way. But with Cyberpunk, you just have an icon on your map, you go to that, you do that mission, driving everywhere, and then you go back and then you pick the next one. It wasn't with Skyrim. You had an icon on the map, and it was like you knew it was going to take you like 20 minutes of real time to actually walk there, but it actually took you like 6 hours to get there because on the way you found this town here with this little quest doing that. So I think the open world games that have vehicles are a lot more boring than the ones which don't.
You don't
like
have
Skyrim and Fallout.
depending on what you choose as a start, obviously, because if you've played it and you chose one of the certain starts, and you understand that you start with the car and you have to do the driving bit first because it's part of how you get into that city.
Oh, I didn't know that. I did do the car bit at the beginning.
Which start did you choose?
I can't remember, but I think it was like the rogue option or something like that.
The Nomad.
Maybe. I ended up with some guy, and we were going through a checkpoint, and then we had to do a car chase.
Right, yeah, that's the Nomad. That's the one that forces you to do the car at the beginning.
Right.
If you choose,
but after you've done the intro, everyone starts in the same place, and you still have all these cars that you can jump into and go to locations. So yeah, if I
at that point you don't have to use them.
No, but it's there. I know you don't have to, but you can still choose to walk to your missions, but there's no exploration or excitement on the way there, even if you walk it.
Yeah, there is. You can run into if you nip down a back alley, you might bump into someone being mugged.
Hey, that's not kind of what I mean, though. It's like,
but that's what it's like in the city.
Yeah, I know, I get it. It's just not my kind of play style. I prefer the open world map in the middle of nowhere. You could travel down with like beautiful scenery, and then you come into a small hamlet or town or whatever, and you got missions there to do on the way to your next one. And you climb a mountain to get to the cathedral where you have to go in and do a dungeon there. I prefer that kind of stuff than in a city with cars and stuff. Just my own personal.
In that case, yeah, you might not enjoy it. They have balanced it out so it does scale with you. So it'll scale up with you, as well as your equipment is scalable with you. All shops now have access to everything, so you don't have to deal with this greasy sleazeball anymore. You can kill him if you really, really want to. You don't have to kill him, but let's face it, it's dirty, greasy slime ball. And he probably deserves it. If he was alive in the real world, most people would want him dead. So you can kill him. Apparently, I've yet to meet him. I have no idea who this guy is, but I'm looking forward to it. I might even like him. I doubt it, but I'm probably going to put a shotgun to his head. But hey, I'll decide when I get to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, all the shops now sell everything.
Cyberpunk is my kind of thing. I would play it pen and paper with people in real life, like how it originally was.
The original Cyberpunk, yeah.
But I don't think I would. I would go back to playing it on
PC.
Yeah. Well, I had it on PlayStation, so.
No wonder you wasn't enjoying it then.
What's the difference? No, I would rather play that kind of game on PlayStation.
How you got keyboard, mouse, perfect. Left click, right
Yeah.
click. That button does that. That button does that. That button does that. So I've got melee. I've got reload. I've got fire.
No.
I've got aim. I've got
My response times are much quicker on a controller than a keyboard and mouse. I prefer the PlayStation for games like that.
But you get a mouse that does that. So.
But I don't have a mouse like that. And of course, then you have to worry about whether your computer will actually play it and all that shit. So I can't be bothered with all that stuff. I'd rather just use the PlayStation, knowing full well that no matter what upgrades they do, it'll always work. You've gone silent.
I just lost myself for a moment.
Oh, there you go. And I can hear you now.
Go to bed, you bum. We will be doing it in a moment because I've literally just finished off the final colour. Everything else I've got left to do now is wash.
Captain, I don't go to bed till like 3 o'clock in the morning. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Don't tell me when to go to bed.
They might not. I do go to bed before that because, well, yeah, I'm getting old. But I have just finished my final colour. The problem is I've also got Joey sat there waiting, so I'm actually going to put him in the basement for a minute. And then go to that and say that.
There we go. Another unit finished. Now I can start painting these Necrons and get one commission done.
Pull that up just in case he comes back. And I have finished at that point. Thank you. You can hear me now, Kirsty. Hey, that's good. So I have now done the tabletop readiness of the. Is it Infernus Marines?
Yes.
Right, it's Infernus Marines. Blamer guys, as I've called them in the description. I've now finished the 3-colour minimum. So I can now throw them on the battlefield and you can go, yeah, that guy's got a flamethrower, all right. Doesn't look anything like a bolter. Doesn't look anything like a plasma gun. Doesn't look anything like a melter gun. I'm tempted to come back onto these tanks underneath and possibly another colour on them.
I did mine black, I think.
Well, that's what mine are at the moment.
I'll show you what mine look like.
The arse end of the gun is silver and the front end's gold. No, I know.
These are my ones. Oh no, I kept them silver.
You kept
so
them
these
silver.
Are my salamanders.
What colour are you painting in his flamer?
It's just got like a burnt oil paint on it. So it's just blackened silver. That's how it would be in real life. So I've just used this, which is like a black, it's very, very brown. It's like a very, very dark brown almost. And I just put that on there and then used my finger to wipe it off. So it's blackened.
Yeah, I was going to go. I'm looking to go for, the purple, where it starts to go silver, then starts going to purple.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to be going with this, hopefully. But I think it's going to require.
But that's only if it's rusted, isn't it?
No, that's burnt. That's burnt.
I'm not sure about that. I don't remember seeing anything like that when I was looking into what burnt metal would look like.
Well, it's not burnt. It's very, very, very highly heated. The metal's not burnt. It's just been heated and discoloured.
Wouldn't that be? Well, yeah. Well, it depends what the metal's made of. I imagine Space Marines would use like titanium for their metal.
A metal that won't catch fire with Prometheus.
Well, yeah, they would. So it wouldn't discolor then. It would just be.
It'll discolor because it's across the surface, but it wouldn't burn, which would mean it is ignitable. Metal. You can ignite metal and burn it,
Yeah.
which is when it will go char and get black and go thingy. If it just heats up to the point where it just discolors, that's when it starts getting that silvery blue, purpley.
Okay, maybe.
at the
I don't
edge.
know. I haven't done enough research into it for that.
I've had enough lighters where I've held it for too long. Then it's done it. So yeah, it happens. I've seen it on a couple of things. I've definitely seen it. It's not a figment of my imagination, this one, honest. At least, yeah, no, I've definitely seen it. I'm going to find it now. I'm going to find a picture just to make sure I'm not going completely crazy. About metal heat. Yeah, there we go. Share screen. See? No, you don't see because I've not added it up.
No,
See?
I don't see.
See? That's done through heat on the metal. It's not burning the metal, but it's discolored it through heat. So it'll be that type of thing.
Is that not a process that is done through molding the metal? And after it's been molded, that wouldn't happen again?
It can be done while tempering and molding, but if the heat is sufficient enough, then it can happen.
Okay. I worry that it might look a bit weird on the model. It might not give that effect.
I won't be putting it across the entire thing. It'll literally only be at the very, very tips down there. And I'm going to try it on one of my tactical marine flamers first. I'm not that daft. Everything gets tried out on the tactical marines first. And then I come back and try it on the primaries.
Yeah.
Because, well, primaries would be easier to sell for money at this moment in time.
Someone at my local hobby store has got a unit of 10 of them. And he's got like a 3D printed actual flame that is glued at the end of it. So he's actually lit up the holes of the barrel. So they're all lit up with like they're actually ejecting flame out of them, and they look pretty cool like that.
So you can probably do that with wire and cotton wool.
Wire and what?
Cotton wool.
Cotton wool gives out more of the impression of smoke, not the effect of fire.
Yes, but don't forget this is a liquid flame.
I think cotton wool will be good for smoke, not for actual fire. I think with one I did see someone do fire using tin foil.
I've not seen that one before. That might be interesting.
It's an interesting technique because you can mold it with your knife and get it in the rough shape, and then of course that crinkly effect just adds more detail to the flame.
Yeah,
which you can add the dark red and black on the edge, and then when you're done, I think you just sprayed it with super glue and it went solid, and then painted it.
That's not a bad idea. Right. Seeing as I'm sat here now with nothing left to paint, and I've got my bro on the desk and everything now. Let's make a decision.
That you done for painting them?
Yes, for these, yeah. And as soon as this is what I wanted to do tonight, that's me done. But it's a 3-hour stream. That's longer than my last few. And I've not quite finished yet because I wanted to decide whether or not I wanted to do something next week or not.
I might get now that I've finished building them, I might get back on with this guy.
See, because there's a big difference between
3D printer Fulgrim
between them.
All right.
And I don't like that one because of the greeny thing, because the thing you washed off when I give it a black wash, the filler washed off. So I'm not happy with that one. So I'm looking to recreate. I'm thinking I might recreate a few more of these, but I might pick up some, the thingy plates, the essentially foam plates, and
Uh-huh.
try it on that. See if I can get rid of because even on this one still, you can still see some of the actual squares that you can see quite blatantly on there.
Yeah, you can see that clearly. Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of ruins the effect a bit.
Yeah, on that one it does, but you can still see them a little bit on that one. I mean, it's not as bad seeing like a little bit there, or a little bit there, or a
Yeah,
little bit
definitely
there.
definitely not as prominent on that.
On that one, I mean, there are some of them, so I might try some of those. Pick up some foam plates for next week and try doing this, but on the foam plate, so I don't have to deal with the 1 centimeter squares.
Yeah, just remember with their foam, you need to be careful when you prime it. You can't just use spray can.
Oh no, it's Mod Podge.
Oh, right, okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't use to do that.
I couldn't remember the name Mod Podge. I was trying to.
Well, to do that one was actually just black paint and PVA when I did that one.
Yeah.
I have got another one somewhere that's bigger. That's actually individual cobbles. 1 centimeter by 0.5 centimeters, all laid out over a 6 by 8 inch piece of card. That one was the Mod Podge one.
What are these tiles for again?
Dungeons and Dragons tiles. I need to throw dungeons together. Right, okay. There's a corridor. It's that long. You walk along it. There's the door there. There's a door there. There's the door there. The
only thing I would say is they don't match. When you put them next to each other, they kind of look out of place next to each other.
Well, these two, these are both test templates.
Yeah.
As I will do them, what I'll do is and they kind of do, because none of the stones themselves match completely along all of it.
No, but I mean, like the one on the left there. The shade is completely different. Yeah.
Yeah, that's because when I did this one, before I did all the scoring, I gave it a very thin layer of wall filler to try and get rid of those lines. So we've got a very, very thin skim of wall filler over the top of it, and then I etched in all the bricks with a mechanical pencil. When I did this one, I didn't use the wall filler because I wanted to see if I needed it or not. So
can you not get some sort of base that doesn't have the squares?
Well, that's why I'm going to go out and pick up the papers, the plates. Sorry, the foam plates.
Right.
Just chop out the squares in the middle of the chink.
Yeah.
They've now got the squares on it, so I can just mechanical pencil in from there. And then, so I think I might have a go at doing that next week and drawing out a few more tiles.
Interesting to do something different.
Well, yeah, it breaks up. Dolls' houses now. Dolls' houses. When it comes to dolls' houses, oh dear, I know someone who makes dolls' houses.
My mum does that for a business, actually.
Yeah, well,
she still does it, but she.
So does my friend. He's called the Miniature Realtor, and he's crafted miniature houses for BBC to use it as replicas for when they want to shoot big mansions. They use his miniature, and then make the sets.
All right. Okay.
He is amazing at it. And some of his techniques, I won't divulge them online, but some of his techniques are just genius. It's like, no way did I didn't even think about doing that. And it matches the scale, and it gets it all to scale. It's like, wow. And they're like decent size. Some of them are like a meter, just over a meter tall. Proper dolls' houses, not little crappy things, and working electrics and everything. It's like, what the fuck? But yeah, he sells them. Well, makes and sells them. And he is good. He is very good. And I worked with him so long, and I never even knew he was doing that. Aha, we have Mr. Squad Table Degenerate.
Oh, hey, I was just going to tell you, I didn't know you dropped down. I'm going to go to the storeroom. Are you going to be on for another hour or so, or are you going to be, because I'm going to be about half hour.
I'm going to be getting off in a moment. I've just decided what I'm doing next week, which is going to be more tiles. So I'm going to be carving out
all right, cool, cool.
Cobble tiles and stuff.
All right, cool. So, I'll just bid you farewell then, my friend, and thanks for having me up, and we'll see you guys later.
You have a good trip. Thanks for calling up, Joey.
All right, for sure. Bye.
And there we go. Joey has decided he's got to go to the shop. I'm going to go finish my brew, take my tablet, go outside and have a cigarette because it's now getting to 3 hours. And I'm starting to get a little monkey in the back. Not very nice. So I'm going to close all this down. Thank you very much for everybody who's come to join me this evening. Captain, cheers, Mum. Kirsty, Joey, of course, for coming up. Then Pinscape, thank you for joining me again week after week. You put up with this, but thank you so much for joining me. Cheers. And I know we've had Sam, we've had a nice new guest this evening as well, I believe. I don't know if, yes, I can't remember what the name is now. That's the War Thunder Kid 1.
Oh, yeah, the War Thunder, yeah.
The War Thunder, yes. We have War Thunder Kid.
Yeah.
So we did have a new visitor this evening. Thank you very much. Again, anyone who watches this in the future, if you want to leave comments, likes, dislikes, whatever you want to do down there, go right ahead. I'll respond to it as much as I can. Anything you want to say to anyone before I finish up?
I don't think so. Thank you. Goodbye. See you next week.
Enough. I'll leave all relevant links for Cinescape's stuff in the description again, as I do eventually. And good night, everyone. Thank you for joining me, and drive safe.